gentlemen, the winner of this contest.
It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Effing melts. You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We have just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me have my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye. Boom.
You got to run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we have just secured the bag.
But, like, you got to promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. It'll be a lot like my favorite movie. Time. It's so great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
the best guys, Tony Khan.
To keep themselves safe.
You're in trouble.
Wait! No! I don't think that!
I told you that! There's trouble.
I told you we'd catch it.
Ethan is the champ, and I'm afraid to say I don't want to show you how he gets in shape. There's costumes in his bedroom, there's figures on the shelf, but he gets most excited playing with himself. It's time Joe wins the title, because we've had enough. Ethan likes to work out dressing up. Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes. Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes. Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes. Everyone, Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes. Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes.
What's your next desire? Big flow.
As an outsider who's not a massive fan of who I only know so much about it, I always thought, why isn't there some sort of signifying thing about the boots to the wrestler that the fans could?
Well,
then...
a lot of wrestlers don't wear boots anymore.
Yeah,
I see crazy, and I kind of don't like it because that's like the weird traditionalist part of me is like wrestling and wrestling boots.
Yeah,
sure,
put on your boots.
Yeah,
man.
put on your boots. What are you
doing? Yeah, put on your boots, pal.
Yeah,
that's the
lace
Canadian
them up. You know,
lace up your boots, bud.
It's like that expression. Oh, he's one of the best ever. Lace up a pair of boots.
Right.
But you got guys going out there in Jordans and stuff now, and I'm just like, what happened to this business?
And back in my day.
Yeah, exactly. Wrestler wanted to wear wrestling boots. I don't know. I really don't know what it is, but it's funny that I never really examined that about that sort of like holding on to something.
Yeah, you did.
So because I do know I have a different aspect of my life where I do that, which is my car.
Oh, you love your car.
Well, my car is a 2004 Nissan Altima.
Okay.
And I've had it for 12 years.
Our athletes still care about their fans.
Ooh, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show, Saturday night, Sicko Saturday. Yeah, I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks. Yeah, and we have so much to get to, and I absolutely can't wait. There's just so much to get to tonight. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to jump right into things. Patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. Make sure you check that out and consider becoming a patron, and make sure you check out Phil Marks Out on YouTube. I did a stream talking about Stranger Things season 5, which has been it was an awesome stream, and the season has been awesome, but you guys go and check it out. I have some criticisms for it and some shit that I put over brilliantly. One of my favorite shows, you guys already know. And what else? Welcome. We have tons to get to. Okay. Deadline's on. Netflix acquires WBD, and Tony Khan is allegedly exposed by Sarah Stock. This is PWT 205. So, yeah, and I'm your host, Phil Marks. Let's get right into stuff, okay? Literally, we cannot wait. There's too much to get to. Hurry as everyone files in. Hurry. Get in here, and let's make things happen. So we're going to start with some TNA news, some good old country road, because Final Revolution went down, which had the IWC melting down a little bit. TNA fans are starting to get vocal against their partnership, not even against the partnership with WWE, but like what the WWE and NXT talent are doing on their show and how they're winning their belts. And, we're going to go through all of that. And so here, I'll hit a little Aces and Eights, right? But TNA President Carlos Silva, when talking to Ariel Helwani about the relationship, he dispels the rumors that WWE TNA partnership is coming to an end in any way. So from the horse's mouth.
There were some rumors I saw online that this deal signaled the end of your...
And this is important because the people pissed that final resolution. Well, hey, this could be a pivotal point. I think it's good discourse for the fans. Like, we need a little TNA versus NXT versus AEW. We need a little bit more of that, but it's awesome NXT and TNA can like work together, and whether it makes people shut the show off or if it gets them genuine heat, I don't know, but we have some stats on that in a little bit.
Relationship with WWE, I didn't quite understand why. If anything, I thought this deal would be sort of a byproduct of it, and that deal, the WWE deal, helps strengthen TNA. Could you clarify that and clear up once and for all, what is the status of your working relationship with WWE and NXT?
Yeah, Ariel, probably why you didn't understand it is because it made no sense. And there's zero like factual anything to that statement. Things are going great. I mean, Leon Slater was on the CW last night in an 8-way on the NXT show. There's all kinds of things in process as we work with WWE and NXT on a whole bunch of wrestlers moving back and forth. As you know, Li Ying just won the belt back at Madison Square Garden just a few weeks ago, and it was really nice that Shawn Michaels and the team allowed me to go into the ring and give her her TNA belt. That now as the world champion, first Chinese world champion ever, amazing moment. So no, things are great. I really don't.
I love how Silva, and shout out Ariel Helwani show, Uncrowned, all that good stuff. I love how Silva goes and hands the titles after every match, like whatever fed he's in.
I read it and just sort of scratched my head. I had no idea even where it came from.
So there you go. We pretty much figured all that out. The entirety of the IWC did, just by staying online. At first, it was like, oh shit, maybe the partnership. Oh no, okay, it seems to be that's not the case at all. And why would they, right? But speaking of like the deal and whatnot, last Thursday, AMC aired Griswold Vacation Mara in the 7 to 9 p.m. time slot and did $290K with a .08. This is the kind of lead-in TNA can expect when they debut on AMC, which would be 12x the Access station average. So good for them. It's just so good to see that for them. TNA contracts are reportedly expiring soon, however. Mike Santana, Mustafa Ali, Jake Something, AJ Francis, Steve Macklin, Zachary Wentz. So I think the four rascals. Okay, here's the thing. WWE love Wentz for sure, but they just got rid of Wesley. Do they bring Wentz in? And I'm not saying Wesley and Wentz are interchangeable, but it's like, what would he? I don't know. I'm just going to sound like a hater, even though I'm a Rascals fan. What I want to see is the Rascals stay together in TNA. They're like a core group there, or see them all go to NXT or something. That'd be lit. But I don't want to see them break up after we just got all four of them together. Like, I was hoping to get some like brothers versus brothers feuding over tag titles eventually and shit. Like TNA's heating up right now, especially in that tag division. So Steve Macklin, again, he was in NXT before. Should WWE pick him up? Should he go to AEW? I think he's doing good shit in TNA. Again, he's someone that, like, I'm not overly the biggest fan of or anything, but he's like a solid hand and shit. I get his position on the card, but there's just way more people I'm interested in TNA. One of them being AJ Francis. I think he's been such a positive for TNA. I think TNA has been a positive for him. If I'm him, man, I just try and get more money. They got a $30 million TV deal. I'd just be like, hey, I'll fucking stay with you guys. I'm a part of why the TV deal happened as well. You can say what you want, but like, how many AJ Francis clips went viral and shit? You got to give him that. You got to give Top Dollar that. Jake Something, I just can't believe the whole show's not built around this guy, you know what I mean? For sure, WWE scoop him up. Any company that gives him the money to go there, I mean, go and do it. Would he be used correctly in AEW? No, nobody is. So, yeah, I would just say, like, keep doing what you're doing in TNA, but, like, TNA's got to use him better and more. He could be hurt for all I know. I have no clue. I have no clue what's going on with him anymore lately. He just kind of, like, fell off the map a little bit. Hammerstone, too. Fuck, you know, after all that shit with him in MLW, then he just ends up going back to MLW. It's like, God damn it. Mustafa Ali, you gotta think WWE want him back. I want you back. They've gotta want him back, no? It seems like that's a guy. Was Vince there when he got released, or was that under Trips and HBK? And then Mike Santana, WWE, by all means, is eyeing him up. And if his contract is expiring soon, then not only was that last-minute title switch like, hey, we need to pop a rating for our live shit as we announce this TV deal, but it's also like, well, he's going to WWE. He's going to WWE. I'm sorry. He's going to NXT. Pure and simple. So if that's now, or do they do it in 3 months? TNA will fucking hook them up for 3 months. Maybe with their TV, they're going to stop doing that, but they will sign people for like 3 months, 90 days, you know? So maybe they're just like, hey, dude, stick around 2 more months so we can do this and this or whatever the fuck. I have no clue. And who knows what that means? Oh, his contract's up soon. I don't know. But Santana will be in NXT/WWE in some capacity. And any of these 6 guys could go to WWE and be effective for sure, at least in some capacity. In AEW, will they be effective? They'll just be bodies who have great matches or whatever, you know? So if that's effective to you in your mind, if that's okay, then there you go. And I'm not even knocking shit. I'm just saying, I'm just speaking the truth. So with TNA Final Resolutions, speaking of speaking the truth, what a segue, what a transition. You know, I've been kind of critical of the hype around TNA pay-per-views and shit and these bigger events like Bound for Glory. I don't expect them all to do 8,000 every time, but 2,000, you know? And then when was this? This is from 2 days ago. So 2 days before that, I'm sure they sold the 2,100 tickets or 2,200 tickets. I'm sure they sold that as of, you know, and I mean, the seats on the map, 3,900. So it's not like, oh, they shit the bed. And good for TNA. They're drawing 2,000 paid people, not people who are at an amusement park taking time to cool off and, you know, eat some food quickly, watch some wrestling before they keep moseying along the fucking whatever. So, like, I'm not shitting on that at all. And this TV deal, obviously, like with AMC, they're going to get more promotion. There's going to be more eyeballs. There's even going to be more people going, oh, there's wrestling on AMC now. What the fuck, you know, older folks who are just scrolling through or whatever. So again, I'm not going to shit on this at all, but we need more hype. We need to start getting in that 3 to 4K conversation before we can say TNA's a number 2. You know, like AEW, like we say, listen, Raw's outdraw AEW pay-per-views, their main pay-per-views. So how is that a challenge to WWE? In TNA's case, you could say the same thing. Their Dynamite outdrew their Final Resolution pay-per-view. How could it be number 2? So it's going to take time if you guys are like rooting for TNA, but it's headed in the right direction. And by no means am I shitting on this, but I talked a lot of shit and I was like, I think they'll be doing like some of their pay-per-views will start beating AEW's pay-per-views attendance-wise. Maybe not buys-wise and shit, but you know, attendance-wise, I think we'll start in 26. We'll be having that conversation, and maybe we will by the end of it. But as of right now, it's like, damn, where'd all the hype from BFG go and all the invasion shit? The problem is they gave us the Showdown PLE or whatever, and the payoffs weren't, or it wasn't even a PLE. It was just like a TV special. That's what I mean, man. It should have been like maybe like a multi-week thing that culminated with a PLE that was presented by WWE and TNA present, like, and you really but again, that's WWE's the A side on that. So like TNA with their new TV deal could do so good and be like, you know what? Our fans are rejecting the NXT WWE stuff, which we're going to talk about in a second, because there is some fan pushback, and maybe they exercise the 60-day thing. Like NXT and WWE could exercise their 60-day clause at any point in this TV deal. Could happen in the next 3 months. And then what happens? TNA is actually competing with NXT, and they already are actually competing with them in a way. And that's why they have a nice relationship. But it's just interesting. I'm excited for this next year going into all of this shit. I can't wait. So they were in El Paso, right? And this event went down. And well, we have some little side stuff here. TJPW has announced that TNA Knockouts champion Lei Ying Lee will be a part of Grand Princess show on March 29. One source, this is according to the Observer, so it could be a lie. One source indicated that TNA would like to have AJ Styles wrestle on the first show on AMC. I mean, come on, Dave. I'd like a fucking $1 million, you know? Like you would like 50% off to not be the fucking trend on your website. I'm sure we all would like a lot of things, you know? So Channing Stacks Lorenzo became the new international champion. And in doing so, it triggered a lot of the TNA holes, right? And what happened was Stacks won the international title. And again, this is putting prestige on that international title. So you want to talk about national titles and intercontinental titles and all this stuff. I know you guys want to talk all about that shit, but this title has the most prestige, I think, out of any of these. Maybe not the intercontinental title, but you know, the national title, the Mid-Atlantic, the Continental, the international, whatever the fuck title. They you know, none of that shit really matters. It's all convoluted. And this international title has been like a focal point of TNA. They introduced it and they focus on this title on the TV show and make it feel important on the TV show. But Stacks punched Santino. So basically what happened was like Lexus King and these guys invaded. They were going to light the ring on fire. Let's play some Anthem. Be cool, bros.
No, you smell that too. That's lighter fluid. There's no freaking way. Lexus King is spraying lighter fluid all over the TNA emblem. Oh, hell no. This is not going down like this. And wait a second. Oh, it's Macklin.
So I'm probably not pausing enough, but whatever, dude. We're chilling. So they were gonna like light it on fire. They didn't. The TNA guys hit the ring. So again, like we've talked about this. This is the direction it was going in. Now, maybe some of the TNA fans are upset that the people from NXT that are being sent over to TNA like they don't match up, like they don't stack up in comparison to like who TNA sent over, who they view as their top guys. They're sending like Lexus King and shit over to TNA, and like that's, people don't want to see this, I guess, is some of the fan backlash. And I thought I had a bookmark. I think I do. Hold on a second. There was a screen grab someone took of all of the videos from Final Resolution, and the two things that everybody hated the most, like the two things that got the least amount of views, was Stacks winning this title and them invading their show and doing this shit. And then the thing that got the second least amount of views, I think, was Mustafa Ali being dragged by that horse. And I think some people have the feeling maybe Mustafa could end up back in WWE, but more so like he's doing this sports entertainment-y WWE type shit, which, I mean, TNA's always kind of done. They've always had like, you know, spooky folks and you know, like what am I looking for? Like mysticism and like Abyss and all. They've always done like, you know, crazy fucking, gimmicks, and they've been willing to fucking give people new names, or like Dr. Stevie or whatever. Now I know they're in a new era, but to get to this new era, remember they shot like a vignette where they all went and found this like treasure trove with like it was like a power box with like fucking energy shooting out of it and all this stuff, right? I mean, it's pro wrestling. There's some suspension of disbelief there, I understand. But I don't know. This was inevitably what was going to happen. NXT people were going to go run rampant in TNA, and then TNA were going to get their comeuppance on their end of shit. And obviously, NXT isn't going to let... Like, obviously, NXT isn't going to let all of their top guys get the shit beat out of them in TNA either, but fans were hoping for some of that, and they've let TNA stand tall on their show enough to where I think this would be okay. But maybe TNA fans don't want to see NXT people invading anymore, or maybe they just don't want to see like these guys in particular or whatever. But Stax just punched his father-in-law as well, Santino.
Oh my God! Stax just.
I mean, I like this, but people would go, yeah, you're an NXT WWE fan more than a TNA fan. And it's like, yeah, that might be true. So like, I like seeing all this crossover shit. The crowd sounded hot as fuck for all of it. But I'm just not sure, dude. I'm just not sure like why the fans were so upset at all this shit. But yeah, the NXT guys, it was like a big brawl with the TNA guys. It took like 1 million people to separate everyone. I mean, I think it's perfect for guys like Lexus King and Channing Stacks and them, but the problem is that people view TNA, a lot of people who might be coming back to TNA who kind of fell off view TNA in a certain way, and then there's like a sicko, like uber smart mark section of the IWC that views TNA in another way, and what those ways are. The old school fans see Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Abyss, like Rob Van Dam, a bunch of these like Jeff Jarrett, even like a bunch of these name guys who won the title, and AJ Styles, and that title is prestigious and has a lineage that, and some of the matches they had you could stack up again, blah 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 blah. And then on the sicko side of like the younger generation, maybe not even younger, but just like the people who saw like the Kenny Omegas, and maybe even like the Austin Aries and the Kenny Omega, the like the people who held the title, that it was like Bobby Lashley had a good run with it. There was some people who there's like an era, maybe that's even going a little too far back. I know that was like the worst time ever for TNA and like Impact when EC3 and all but like LA Knight was there doing his thing. They were trying to make things happen, and some people view that title as like, Omega held it, and it's been fought for. Like Rich Swann had a run with it where people were like, he was having 5-star matches and shit, so I get it. I get why people are like, well, why are the NXT guys matching up with the tippy top TNA guys? But that is what TNA signed. Like, they agreed to do this with NXT, and they weren't like, they could have negotiated, well, let's team up with Raw and SmackDown and shit. But I think in the long run, in like 5-10 years, the conversation will be closer to TNA against SmackDown or Raw than it is NXT, unless NXT continues to blow up and whatnot. So we'll see who benefits from this. But as far as like the heat and just getting a moment where like all these people are hitting the ring and TNA is doing exciting shit, and I think that's good for them. They need stuff like this going into, like, they're part of it now with their TNA deal on AMC is like, hey, there's going to be fucking some NXT WWE people could show up on this show too, and that might get them more TV viewers. So obviously they're not going to want to like just throw that all away. So here, Team TNA versus Team NXT is going down in a steel cage.
Guess what? You got my attention. 2 weeks from today, we're going to settle this like real men. No more running around. No more hiding in the shadows. No more being bitches. We're going to settle this. Team TNA versus Team NXT in a steel cage. I'm going to call it, huh? This week I'm going to announce the teams, and this week on Impact, we're going to get ready. And trusting me when I tell you this, Team TNA, we're going to be danger animals.
So yeah, they're gonna fight in a cage. So that'll be awesome. But speaking of awesome, well, here's what Santana. This was before. This was like a warning to Mr. Stone on Impact or whatever. So speaking of awesome, dude, Bear Bronson, who again, Bear Bronson. I think that was the other guy's name was Bear Boulder. They were in AEW, and they were actually pretty cool. Like they had size and shit. Then they started doing like this stupid booty muncher shit, and it just got so goofy. And then they were getting made fun of some botches and shit like that. But listen, as far as their look, and when they first came in to AEW, AEW was promoting like Godzilla versus Kong, and so they had positioned these guys as like, oh, they're representing King Kong in like a sort of, and like, you know, they brought them in as like they're these big imposing guys who could potentially pose a threat to fucking the tag titles and all that. And then they just kind of like disappeared, like they didn't do anything with them, and they were just there having. And then the Bears, instead of being like these two monsters, they started doing like all these dumb fucking moves and like trying to do matches with like Dark Order, who were fucking, you know, like, you know how they wrestle in AEW, and it was like the pandemic era, and their fucking guys are getting dropped on their heads and shit. And I'm not like putting heat on these guys or Bear Bronson in particular, but this was their journey in AEW. It just seemed like, well, push them like two big monsters. Why are they now having matches where, you know, it was stupid the way they were booked. And then they just kind of became nothing. Then they started doing this booty muncher shit, and it was like, okay, whatever. And then the one Bear Boulder, he like got fired from AEW because he got accused of some like crazy DV type stuff, right? Where he got into a physical altercation with a woman or something like this.
Allegedly.
No, I'm not a lawyer. This is so. And so Bear Bronson was just like left to his own devices, and he's just sitting at home, and basically he doesn't know if he's getting booked or not. And he got a little bit more vocal, and he was saying things, I think, right before he got released from AEW, and he never buried AEW. He was professional about the release and all that. But Bear Bronson was like, dude, I'm being punished for something I had nothing to do with. Like, I didn't even do that. If you give me the ball, I can run with it. And Bear Bronson was a guy who was trying to make it as a single star and like on the indies and shit. And as like a last ditch effort, he fucking teamed up with this Bear Boulder guy. And then they kind of got their break in AEW, at least monetarily, you know, and at least like getting an opportunity. And then, but, you know, fast forward to where we're at, and he was tweeting shit out like, dude, I'm getting like, now I'm not getting booked. And I mean, I'm surprised the dirt sheets and IWC didn't melt down more about what he was saying, but he was like, he didn't get renewed soon thereafter. Like his deal was coming up. So I guess Tony Khan just ghosted him or whatever. That's all I can assume, right? Based off like him vocalizing like how he's being punished for something he didn't do. And
Best guys, Tony Khan.
We didn't hear anything about it. So Bear Bronson goes on the indies, and he starts having matches that people are like hyped about on the indies. They're, you know, people are leaving AEW or WWE, and they're having a match with him. Not everybody, but he's having matches that, you know, fans of GCW are like, damn, this was fucking awesome and shit, right? So he gets signed to TNA. I'm hoping he's actually signed to TNA, because he's a guy that on his own, even, he has that Vader, that Bam Bam Bigelow, maybe not as rank as them. Like no one will be, again, you're always getting compared to people before that were better, right? Like, unfortunately, that's the unfortunate thing with wrestling. I'm not saying he is Bam Bam Bigelow. I'm just saying like he has that aura. He's like he's a big, thick bear dude who, I mean, you could stick as a heater with someone. He got a not a good shake. And I'm not saying everyone should be a charity case, but like that tag team, the Bears, they could have been something in AEW. And it's like, damn, Tony, like those are little fumbles people don't talk about enough. I've griped about this. I've probably talked about Bear Bronson more than anyone in any podcast in the fucking pro wrestling space over the last 3 years. But I'm just glad he's in TNA. Like this is fitting
And their
for him.
tag team partner from Long Island, New York, weighing in at 285 pounds, Bear Bronson.
There have been rumors that Bear Bronson could be making his way here to TNA Wrestling.
And he's there with C.W. Anderson, who's still going, and Brock Anderson. So shout out Arn Anderson as well for letting C.W. Anderson be a part of this with Brock or whatever. And also Brock in TNA. Like, I love that too. That's where he should be. And I don't know about them teaming up as a trios, but whatever. He made the call to one of his old AEW buddies, I guess, right? But I'm here for fucking Bear Bronson.
They are already having their eyes out for who could possibly replace JDC come January. You gotta love it. Only in pro wrestling do you come to a job interview and touch the person giving you in the interview.
Like he could be a heel for them, like a fucking top heel for them. The Righteous, though. Speaking of AEW tag teams or Ring of Honor, wherever you want to associate the Righteous, right? I mean, like they were brought into AEW and essentially they weren't being used. And then when Tony Khan just needed a tag team to handicap match, lose to fucking MJF when Adam Cole got hurt, they brought in the Righteous, monster push them as far as like they're breaking dudes' ankles, Kathy Bates style, with fucking wood blocks and sledgehammers and shit, like crazy shit. And yeah, it just, then they just fucking lost, and then you didn't see anything from them. They didn't win the tag titles or anything. But the Righteous are in TNA, and this fucking rules. And I'm a huge fan of these guys. I think, again, I was pushing for them to be in WWE with Karrion Kross and all that. This might be better, you know? Again, what are they going to go into NXT and all this shit? And I also said a long time ago, TNA would be perfect for them. It would be awesome. If Karrion Kross and the Righteous, they were teasing all that shit. If they want to link up in TNA, that would be amazing. Imagine Scarlett and Karrion join TNA with this new TV deal. And then the Righteous are his guys. Like he was teasing that while he was in WWE. And the Righteous have been putting out like cryptic tweets forever. And then the snaps happen. And I will say, even though Tony Khan's been wrapped up in like, hey, we're going to fucking license all this music we don't need. Or like, we're going to steal music again, allegedly. I don't want to make any fucking claims or anything, but Tony, right? Like there's accusations that he's like lifted music from people and shit. So if that's the case, good on him for letting the Righteous continue to use this music that they've been using since I think like ROH and just around the indies and shit, before Tony Khan purchased ROH. And they were a big act for ROH, man. And big, I mean big for ROH, you know? Because people's, well, what does that mean? Well, I mean, I don't know, ROH was around for many years, you know, they were still doing houses and shit. And enough to where Tony Khan shilled out however many million they worked him out of fucking how many million did he pay for that? Can't remember. And so yeah, Dutch and Vincent, they're here in TNA. It's just good to see, and good thing that Tony Khan let them keep their music. Or did he own the rights? Did they own the rights to it? I don't know. Maybe Lex Luger can tell us.
Wait a minute. Vincent, Dutch, the Righteous are here in TNA.
What are they chanting? His flippy tongue. Yeah, so shout out Anthem and TNA and all that. I'm going to end up having to clip all that shit out playing this music. And yeah, so that was Final Resolution. And I thought some cool shit happened. I know people are mad about stacks and all that, but look at to what they're building to. TNA's headed in the right direction. I'm not going to sit here and start shitting on it because of one perceived bad night. I thought it was cool until I saw the online discourse. So I was like, what the fuck? And then there are some TNA fans who are like, yeah, we don't want to see these guys winning our titles and shit, you know, and they're claiming them our titles and shit. And it's like, all right. And that was TNA news. Heyo. Okay, so we have more news to get into. There's so absolutely so much. We're gonna get into WWE news before Deadline starts. We'll rip through this. And then we'll go into yeah, and then we have some crazy AEW shit to talk about, man. Like so much AEW shit. And we're gonna talk about it while Deadline is on. Let's see what chat's saying here. Kevin Pierpont's been a member for 7 months. Guys, yeah, so consider becoming a member, 99 cents. I do a bonus show weekly. And patrons as well. Here's my Patreon. Consider signing up for Patreon. There's a bunch of bonus access content that you can access if you sign up for that as well. And you get like anything you get as a YouTube member, patrons also get. So, and it's all unedited and uncensored. Like, you know, I don't have to like chop shit out on Patreon, like nothing. So, anyways, moving along here. Or yeah, sorry, no. Let me check in. We got some Kevin Pierpont, member for 7 months. Thank you so much for your membership. And Rabid Wolverine LC Killer 17 has been a member for 16 goddamn months. I appreciate that so much. We acknowledge you.
Acknowledge me.
And those are my plugs there. Here, I'm gonna get Deadline on. I just want to pull it up so it's like on. I'll listen to the stupid Netflix music. Speaking of Netflix, we're going to get into all of that as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WWW. So Logan Paul asked Nick Khan if John Cena is calling the shots for his retirement tour.
Is he calling the shots on
Shout out Impulsive and Big Mike, Maljack, Fox.
his retirement tour? Like, have you guys given him that grace?
It's he and Triple H together, but there has not been a dispute. I don't mean, no, let's end with this. No, let's end this way. There's not been a dispute with John Cena since he announced his retirement tour. Prior to that, by the way, or since he's executed upon his retirement tour. Smooth.
Is he calling the shots on his retirement tour? Like, have you guys given him that?
Smooth operator. So speaking of John Cena, Nick Khan talked about that they want to bring back Pat McAfee and praises John Cena for his work ethic. And John Cena says he's very proud of his rap career. And he was doing the media rounds. He was also on Joe Rogan, which was awesome. And he says he's very proud of his 2005 You Can't See Me album. And he tries to listen to it every year, but there will not be a 20th anniversary celebration of it. Even though he said on JRE that he's still into making music. He likes fucking around and making music. And he says, no way, the chapter's closed, just like we're closing the WWE chapter on the 13th. The hip-hop chapter's closed. So John Cena, isn't he like the only music artist to ever drop one debut album, go platinum, win a Grammy? Like, didn't he win a Grammy for that shit? It's some crazy stat. Maybe I made that last part up, but it like went platinum and then he just retired and never made another album. He's the only artist to ever do that in music. Fucking crazy when you really think about it. Someone can fact check me on that shit. So John Cena, he told a story about how the AJ Styles feud came to be. And he just says, AJ Styles is the nicest human being in sports entertainment. We don't got to listen to that clip, but he's a big fan of AJ, respects him tremendously. And yeah, that match they had was just magic. It was just years in the making, you know? John Cena reveals that he originally wanted to do 220 dates on the retirement tour, but WWE only needed him for 36 dates. Could you imagine John Cena's back after fucking 200 dates, man? Oh my God. Yeah, StreamYard's taking the L, dude. I don't know. It's so glitchy. I'm talking to other motherfuckers who use it, and they're just all like, it is running like shit lately. They're just adding new features, everyday new features. And it's like, just make the ones that exist already work the best. Jesus Christ. Anyways, moving along. So speaking of John Cena, he was, we talked about it before. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he mentioned some names that he would like to see on JRE, and Tony Hinchcliffe was there, and they sort of listed a few names. Stone Cold, what? Vince McMahon, what? Some other people, and one of the people was Vince McMahon, and Joe Rogan officially extended an invite to Vince McMahon on his pod.
Vince McMahon, who started this gangster shit and spread it around.
I would definitely have him.
It was a little
he would be great.
Yes,
whatever magic you have out there, and you have a lot of gravity.
Do you think he'd be interested in doing it?
Are you kidding me? I think he would love it.
Really?
Yeah. I think he would love it.
Okay.
I don't know when the right time is, but man, don't miss out on that opportunity. At least send it out to the universe.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely. Vince, if you're listening, let's go.
I think this would be I think this experience would be a great one.
Yeah. So Cena was like pitching it, man. And so he also had this to say. He reacted to his dad talking shit about who his final opponents are. So again, a lot of people mad. I think John Cena Sr.'s always working. And a lot of people mad about who the final opponents are. But Cena, I don't know. Nick Khan and Cena and Triple H, like Nick Khan's refuting that he had nothing to do. Same as Cena. He's like, I just do what the fuck they ask of me. I don't really push back, you know? So who knows if apparently Gunther versus LA Knight. Yeah. By the way, Gunther beat LA Knight. We're not going to spend too much time on SmackDown, but Gunther beat LA Knight, and people are mad about that too. And I just don't know if it's faux outrage or not, but it was more disliked than liked. The video of Gunther facing John Cena. Now, we all kind of knew it would be Gunther versus John Cena, but at the same time, like, I'm with everybody to where there's like a bunch of different matches I think I would have rather seen, but WWE is just doing what's best for their business, and Cena's not a dummy. Like, he knows that he needs to do this for them now. And he even explains on JRE, he's like, listen, your window is like 5 years. You're only over for 5 years. So who can Cena? And what do I always say? I love being right. What do I always say here at PWT? Yo, the next like 3 to 5 years, who's going to be that guy who's like drawing for them? And they have so much talent, right? Cena said the exact same thing as me on Joe Rogan, the biggest fucking podcast in the world, the biggest wrestler in the world. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm saying, right? And that's what the assignment is. So Gunther winning. Gunther will be there for 5 years, having matches against Brock, Braun Breaker, Roman, Punk, maybe again. Who else? Like, Gunther will be there, like, juggling the world titles around. Like, Rhodes will turn heel on Gunther, or they'll have a feud, or Jacob Fatu versus Gunther. That's what's going to happen over the next 5 years. Cena's got to give it to someone. It's not like he's giving it to Carmelo Hayes, who, by the way, I was all about Carmelo Hayes winning it. I got to be honest. My guy JJ Alexander fucking convinced me of that. But if Carmelo Hayes has like 15 years left in the biz, right? How old is he? He's got like a decade in the biz. And I'm not saying Gunther's washed, but Gunther, does he have 5 years or 10 years left? I'd say more on the 5-year side. Could he do it for 10 years? Yeah, but you don't want to do it for 10 fucking years, right? You want to get the fuck out and with your health and everything intact. So Cena gets it. People get people who get it. You understand why the fuck it has to be Gunther. It's got to be Gunther. It can't even be LA Knight. LA Knight's like 40. When is his next deal up? We don't even know. He might not even be in WWE the next 3 years, for all we fucking know. So, and like, who's going to get pushed harder and who's already been pushed harder, LA Knight or Gunther? Gunther, man. So it's like you're just stacking it up. You're just racking up his resume because he's your guy. You know, he's like in and around all the top guys for the next 5 years. So,
and deciding to meet my dad where he's at and be like, dude, whatever I thought you were, you're not. You're just you, and I love you for you. And man, when we sit, there's some shit that he'll say that's all fucked up. You know, he said some shit yesterday that like, I don't think John's last opponent should be there. And people listen to him because he's a wrestling fan. He's like in the kind of like the weird subculture zeitgeist. And I want to call my dad and be like, what the fuck are you doing? But then like, no, he's doing what he does. This is him.
Yeah.
This is the this is the John Cena I love. This is the guy I can sit down with. And part of that is being able to process all that. But
so he very respectful of his father and a good young man, this John Cena is. No, he kept calling himself the kid, though. Maybe they're like, hey, I don't like the kid. It's like, bro, you are 50. No. John Cena shouts out Claudio Castagnoli and Natalia Neidhart as the only two people who took the initiative to take advantage of WWE's language program besides Cena himself. But yeah, he shouted out Claudio Castagnoli by his name.
You know,
was there anybody other than you that you know of?
Two other people.
And Natty Neidhart, dude, the boat.
Who?
Shooter Natty coming back. Cena shouts her out on Joe Rogan. She's coming back. Shooter Natty. Well, she wasn't really Shooter Natty, but like, you know, she's reaching into the dungeon. She's coming back as Shooter Natty, reaching into her dungeon roots. Fucking repping the greatest family in the history of pro wrestling there, buds.
Claudio Castagnoli, who speaks, I think, 4 or 5 languages already, and he just wanted to take like a brush up course. And Natty Neidhart.
Wow.
Yeah. You know,
was there anybody other than you that you know of?
Two other people.
Who?
Claudio Castagnoli, who speaks, I think, 4 or 5 languages already, and he just wanted to take like a brush up course. And Natty Neidhart.
Wow.
Yeah. You know,
was there anybody other than you that you know of?
So yeah, shout out AEW, I guess. Moving along here, John Cena had this to say about his retirement, and he just shut down so much of the discourse. Like everybody just, it's not his own terms and all this shit, and WWE's doing whatever they want to do with him, and we could and Cena's just like taking it all in stride, and he's like, hey, everyone, shut the fuck up. Like,
this is something I've heard a lot this past year.
And he even said, he called out the fickleness of like fans. He didn't call it out, but he just said on JRE, he's like, dude, once Royal Rumble hits, no one's going to give a shit or remember my fucking retirement tour. It doesn't matter what I did. You know, like no one's going to remember it. They're going to move on. They're going to forget John Cena right when Rumble hits. He's like, so it just whatever, just enjoy. I'm enjoying this shit. Enjoy it, you know? And I'm like, I'm right there with you, John.
Not in your own terms. That's bullshit. I want to do it forever. Like, to anyone out there who doesn't understand what WWE is, or just go live. When you step in that building live, it's just a different energy.
Yeah.
And I never want to let that go. But my body hurts. I'm a step slower. I promised myself and the fan base, like when I started, before I won that first championship, when I'm a step slower, I'm out.
And yet some people are saying you're having some of your best matches ever this year.
Yeah, but it's all I have left.
Right.
That's what people don't understand. And I want to go out at a level.
I don't know what show this is, but shout them out.
That is still passable and in some twinkles admirable, and not have to rely on luck. You know, I got one date left. I have given my heart and soul to this year. It has taken a lot to just do 35 dates, whereas before I do 220 in my sleep. Like
200, he feels like he could do 220 in his sleep, bro. No, like no, I don't need. It wouldn't have. No, I'm glad he didn't do 200 dates. So Cena says he called Triple H to tell him he didn't want a tribute show for his retirement and pitched to have NXT talent featured versus main roster stars on his retirement show. Says he called Hunter and he said, I have an idea. You'll know how to do this because I don't know how to write television. But I think if we do a tribute show, one of two things are going to happen. It's either going to be too much or too little, which means it's not going to be good. Okay. Why don't we take SNME? Everyone knows it's John Cena's last match. The video packages you want to trickle in, no problem. Then we go to the match, have the match. That's the night. But beforehand, on a night I know people are going to be tuning in, sold out, and the last piece of relevant energy I can get an audience member to tune into. Show the future of your business. Have top name WWE superstars, CM Punk, Charlotte Flair. You put it together however you want. Have them have a non-canon exhibition matches with the future of the business. Bring kids up from NXT, get them in the building with real noise, real energy. Let them. So again, John Cena just trying to leave the business better than he found it. Like, you cannot be mad at this. You cannot be mad at this at all. It's just been a net positive. John Cena says he had over 10 surgeries. So he revealed all of his surgeries, and surprisingly, to everybody's shock, and we know John Cena loves his wine, dude, and he can crush beers and shit, but he's never taken any pain pills, which is like, holy fuck. And I'm like this, honestly, man, I don't like, but here's the thing. I have taken pain pills in my life, but I try to like avoid taking Advil and shit, even if I can, like as much as possible. I try to avoid it as like if I'm in dire need, I'll do that because I just think that shit's so bad for you. I don't know. Whatever. That's just me. I try to tough it out as well. But again, if I had like a fucking neck surgery or whatever, or got my whole pec removed, like Cena, I'd be taking the shit. I wouldn't have this type of willpower. I don't know how.
In my neck, right pec, completely detached, reattached. Both triceps reattached. Both triceps scoped.
Like imagine both triceps scoped and reattached. Like I'd fucking take the T3s or whatever they give you there, bud.
Nose relocated. Like I'm in like 10 physical surgeries where they got to go and correct something. Never taken one pain pill.
Wow.
I have all the prescriptions in the bottom drawer of my house filled. And it's weird because at every facility, the first hill they climb is pain management. You wake up from anesthesia, you're like gray and murky. And I've been in a bunch of surgeries, a bunch of different facilities. The protocol is always the same. Do you want something for the pain? Here, we got to make sure you take this with you because you're not in any pain.
Yeah.
Like, I understand because if you leave, if you're feeling okay, maybe you're high off adrenaline, I don't know. And then the operation sets in of like, holy fuck, this is a 10 out of 10. I need something. I get that. But I guess from falling down and hurting my body a lot, like I know my pain threshold.
Yeah.
And when the worst one was probably the putting the whole pec back on and then attaching it. But when I woke up, I was able to like mess around with a stress ball, and I never took one pill.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. That is crazy. So moving along here. Yeah, well, this is it. Awesome. I got to bookmark this part because, yeah, there was a lot of interesting things that, again, like the IWC, they don't fucking clip it because maybe it wouldn't get the most clicks, but there's just little things he talked about. So I'm actually surprised I got a clip of this, but he's like, 3 weeks after I retired, nobody will give a fuck.
And it's like, okay, I need to somehow leverage my relevance with this to what it's going to do to film that. In WWE, if you're not I'm going to retire on the 13th. They will be moved on by the Royal Rumble. And that is real facts. I will be forgotten. That is not a plea to sympathy of like, always remember me. By the Royal Rumble and the road to WrestleMania, nobody gives a fuck because they're focusing on what the show is. That's like 3 weeks after I retire. 3 weeks after I retire, nobody's going to give a fuck. And it's like...
Oh, man, that's good stuff. So, yeah, it's official. Saturday night's main event, the Ring versus John Cena. This match is going to rule. John Cena is going to lay it all on the fucking line. And I'm excited for it, honestly. I'm just excited because it's a part of his fucking retirement tour. I'm choosing to mark out over this. I have not been mad at all throughout Cena's retirement tour. Throughout that aspect, I've just been enjoying it all. And him versus Gunther, like, okay, I love fucking Gunther. He's one of my faves. So is this, did I want it to be LA Knight? No, I think I wanted it to be Gunther more than LA Knight personally. And I like LA Knight as well, but I don't know, man. Who else could it have been? I think maybe if we were in a position where like Jacob Fatu was the guy or one of those, but like we're not in that position. He's out right now. So I don't know what people wanted. It's got to be someone who's going to be there the next 5 years. So maybe Braun Breaker you give it to. That's the obvious choice. I think Gunther is a guy who is just a low-key, like one of the GOATs. He's low-key. When all's said and done, people are going to be like, man, he only lost to these 10 names in his whole career, these 5 names in his whole career. He's held all these titles. His win percentage is like 89% or whatever, or even more, probably greater than that. But I think his legacy is going to go down strong. And yeah, I don't know who else you could ask for. And then on the undercard, it's like Charlotte versus I can't remember. They're announcing all these matches, but it's like, yeah, mainstream star versus NXT star or whatever. And they're trying to build the future a little bit. And Cena's smart about like, hey, it's going to fall flat if it's just a tribute show. People are going to complain it was too much, or they're going to complain it was too little. We got to just, let's do what's best for business. And in Cena's mind, he wants to do his best for the pro wrestling business and the future of pro wrestling. And that's fucking showcasing young talent and putting Gunther over, who has the next 5 years on lock as far as wrestling all the top guys. So I don't know, man. Speaking of John Cena, though, we have a little bit more with John Cena and his podcast appearances. He's been making the media rounds. His music career we talked about a little bit. And a federal lawsuit was filed on Tuesday, and they accused WWE, TKO, and John Cena and others of using an unlicensed sample to create Cena's The Time Is Now theme song. Man, a sample. This song is like 25 years old. The song itself is even older. It's like 1974. And I get it if people aren't clearing samples and they're just stealing shit. But at the same time, man, you'd have to sue like all of hip hop. All of hip hop would get fucking sued at this point. Everything is sampled. Okay? Like, I'm sorry. Everyone's playing the same chords and everything's fucking sampled. It's what all of hip hop is and always has been. I mean, fucking sue John Cena, I guess, for it. I don't think that this will turn out well. But yeah, the daughter of Peach Schofield, Kim Schofield, she now owns the copyrights. So now she's like, I'm going to sue John Cena. I should be a billionaire. And it's like, dude, you're just getting yourself into a mess. I guarantee it. I guarantee she's fucking up. Okay. So moving along here, speaking of fucking up and lawyers and all this shit, David Otunga, and people are just flat out calling him, like, look at this, 421K views, like impressions, 927 likes, 300 retweets, and 660 whatever responses. So people are just fucking mad at him. And people are like, this is the definition of grifting. What he's doing, like he's saying, hey, I'm this Harvard lawyer and I'm fucking gonna like talk about contracts even though I don't really know about it anymore, and I'm gonna say that I'd knock John Cena out in a shoot for real when Cena's doing his retirement tour. Oh man, it's
Are you sure about that?
And I don't know if it's a grift. I guess you could say it is a grift, but for him to just like say all this salacious shit about WWE. And it's like, where have you been this whole time saying any of this shit? But now that he sees like, oh, Maven's YouTubing and people are YouTubing and I just got to fucking, do the rage bait. Like, I don't, that's the game everybody's playing. Go on YouTube. That's what everyone's doing. Okay. So like, it's that criticism of like, oh, people are just doing shit for clicks. It's like, that's what everyone's doing. That's all anyone's doing in any business ever. We're trying to get clicks. That's what everybody's doing. If you're in the entertainment industry at all, you're trying to get fucking clicks. Okay. So that's like not a real criticism, but just him saying like such egregious fucking out of the blue. He's just like, fucking I'll knock you out, Cena. Like, what, bro? Where have you been the last 10 years? You know what I mean? Like, where's any of this energy before? So it's just kind of funny. He's I don't know, but he's going viral, so it's working for him. I don't think Otunga, what's his background? Would he beat Cena in a shoot fight? Like, Where's there any indicator that either of those guys could shoot fight? Peacemaker, bro? You gonna beat up Peacemaker, bro? Are you sure about that? No. Here's what Otunga had to say.
Now, Cena only got physical with me in the ring because when we came backstage, it was just verbal and emotional abuse in front of everybody. But he knew better than to put his hands on me then. I'm gonna tell you right now. If John Cena put his hands on me back,
yeah, in the fake wrestling ring where we fake fight, he put his hands on me. But if and then he's saying he verbally abused him and shit. I don't know about all that, but
stage, I would have beat the dog shit out of John Cena and fast.
He can verbally abuse me, but if he had touched me, man, I would have whooped his ass for realsies. I promise.
Actually, it probably would have been better if it was just a physical altercation, because at least I could have ended things quickly. But the fact that it was just this verbal abuse, I couldn't really do anything but take it. I'm a rookie, so I guess I just have to eat that and be humiliated in front of the entire locker room, the agents, the audience, and talked down to, disrespected. The undertone.
Is that what Cena did to everyone? Like, I know on screen he fucking clearly, like, he beat the whole Nexus, but was he, like, berating them backstage? Was that ever, is there anyone else who claims this that I don't know about?
Thrown around, like, this is what I mean. It's taken me 15 years to tell this story, but I feel like I finally just need to get this off my chest, and this is what happened. Now, see,
I don't know, man. Is this just what happened because you have a YouTube channel now? And then lastly on the JRE podcast, so this became like a headline. Tony Hinchcliffe says he was previously offered a job as a WWE writer in his first few years as a stand-up comedian, but didn't take the role due to having to relocate to Connecticut. This is literally like 10-year-old news. Like, Tony Hinchcliffe told this story like 10 fucking years ago. Now I get it. Cena's on the show, whatever, but this is why, like, when Tony Hinchcliffe starts appearing in WWE and shit, you come to PWT because I'll break down the lore. I'm actually over on the Patreon. We're gonna do a watch along / listen along of the WrestleMania, the roast of WrestleMania. So make sure you guys check that out. That'll be very, very fun. And yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to roast that people are running with that headline. It's like, why didn't you guys know this already? Like, he's had his connection with WWE's been there for a long ass time, as far as early in his career and his fandom, and like everyone kind of knew that. And so I don't know. It's just funny to see the UK dirt sheets like just playing catch up, or maybe I'm just nitpicking. I just like to roast Wrestle Talk. So we talked about Nick Khan a little bit earlier, and he discussed the pay structure in WWE for top names and acts in the middle. And he says it's a meritocracy. If you make it to the top and you're marketable, you get paid. That's how any job should be. In WWE, if you're Roman Reigns, if you're Brock Lesnar, if you're Cody Rhodes, all the guys at the top of our game, CM Punk, they're getting rich. If you're in the middle, you're not getting rich, but you have a really good life. Welcome to the good life. Y'all pop the trunk, we pop the hood. Robbie. So Nick Khan had this to say on the Pat McAfee show.
The business mind.
Shout out to Pat McAfee show.
That are at this TKO group are
second to none.
Outrageous. It is absolutely outrageous. And congrats to them coming together and being able to work together, you know, because obviously Ari and Mark Shapiro.
Yep.
Okay.
Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro, you know, incredible prowess, not only in deal making, but in business across the board. If you look at the good fortune that we've had in the TKO stock, you know, if you look at that good fortune, it's up and to the right, not jinxing anything. You got Dana White. You got a whole plethora of people at the UFC who work with them. You got Triple H. You got all.
Shout out ESPN as well, I think, that are
our executive
hosting this and shit.
At WWE, and you have a really strong executive group at Zuffa. You'll never hear us complain about, oh, we're tired. Oh, we have to work so much. I watched a reality show on Netflix about some other boxing promoter, and all I heard in the show was, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I need to go play golf now. And it's a great hobby for people who do it. But please don't tell me you're exhausted if you're going out to play 4 or 5 hours of golf.
Yeah, Trump. No, just kidding.
Tell me you're exhausted. By the way, tell your mama if you're tired.
Tell your mama, somebody call my mama.
Yeah, that's a dog. You just heard a dog talk. And that is why we respect the hell out of you, man. And we assume this is going to go great. We cannot wait to get to your fights. We cannot wait to experience what you guys build.
Yeah, I'm for Zuffa boxing getting in the mix, but I don't know, just this whole like talking about changing the Ali Act and all this stuff. I just don't know if the masses are going to get behind that shit. So, speaking about Nick Khan, he shuts down the green shirt guy rumors that he sued the company. Now, yeah, the rumors like green shirt guy is like he's like some wheeler and dealer guy. Like I guess he just makes money. Like he takes his 5-10% off people who are out there making money, and he's got time to golf and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, he dispels the rumors about green shirt guy.
He is on location, which is VIP hospitality and entertainment. So he pays for his seats. He pays a premium for those seats through On Location, and that's why he gets to be in the front row.
No way.
You know, there's some weird storylines that don't match that one, right?
Tell me.
What was it?
There was I saw some lore that green shirt guy supposedly like accidentally got struck during an event, like,
And this is from the Impulsive podcast
years ago.
No.
And in order to like not sue the company was like, you get front row seats
No.
for life. No,
No, definitely not. Definitely
Dude, we
not.
just killed all the lore.
I don't know if that was he is on.
No, and that wouldn't be the case too. Like you could dismiss that conspiracy theory as well, because you get free seats for life, don't sue us. No, they would just like pay you in a settlement to shut up, and they just give you enough money to where all the seats he buys and shit, the value of that outlasted him getting smacked in the face a decade ago by CM Punk. That wasn't him. He's like an agent or something like that. He's like some guy who fucking, or like his family, like his dad was or something, and he inherited the care, whatever the fuck, you know, it's just rumors like that. He just represents people or something. I don't know. And he just stays real low key. And here's the thing. The richest people have spent their money. You know what they do? They scrub the internet of all of their shit. You know? So that's why you don't really know who green shirt guy is. You're not supposed to. You know what I mean? He just loves wrestling. That's all you got to worry about. But yeah, people want to know. Like, I wonder if like people try to get him on a podcast or anything. I think he has a Twitter. Nick Khan, though, says WWE is honored to have Brock Lesnar back. Which, of course, why wouldn't they be honored to have him back? And we talked about these podcasters here, Logan Paul. He clarified that he did not mean people in WWE have spoken about Donald Trump possibly attending. So there's just all these goddamn rumors about Donald Trump being at Cena's final match. He'll be there or he won't be there. Okay? If some shit comes up, he's got a round of golf or something, he won't be there. But there's a chance he'll fucking be there, and there's a chance Vince McMahon could be there as well. And if they're there, sure, it's a big deal to have the president watching a match. The president was on fucking Raw. He was on the show before. He's in the fucking Hall of Fame. So, I mean, whatever. Trump goes to UFC events and shit. I'm sure he'll show up to this if he's there, whatever. Even if Vince is there, people are going to melt down if Trump or Vince or both or one or the other show up. To me, I could not care less, but whatever. Logan Paul, like, he ain't confirming shit. He ain't denying shit. He's just saying what's going on, you know? And speaking of Pat McAfee, he released a new single. So Pat McAfee featuring WWE superstars, and it's called Dookie. And I think they're talking about AEW. I'm not sure. Just jokes. These are jokes, guys.
I'm all the way in Eugene, smoking on some new green, changing up the routine, gratitude truly, feel like new school dean, life's pretty cool.
He's recording it in his podcast studio too. Oh man. He doesn't sound too bad. The production's on point. He's talking about smoking weed and shit.
Gratitude truly, feel like new school dean.
better than Nikita Lyons. That's
Life's pretty cool. G3 jobs. Fuel means tank top. Blue jeans never change. Crew needs deep shots. Fuel screens. Movies.
So why did it say WWE superstars are involved in it? WWE superstars, like are they singing backup vocals?
Two scenes, bank account juicy. Canceled who me, boogeyman's spooky. Folks watch who sees hating fucks dookie. Yeah.
Hating fucks Dookie. Oh my god, dude. I'm not gonna lie, the lyrics are whatever, but Pat McAfee's like a goofball, so the lyrics are kind of goofballish. But this is just rich people doing rich people shit. It's what they make money. They go, oh, we can get in a studio. I can just record this. Anyone can make a song now with AI. We can fucking with fucking the Pro Tools and shit. We can just like auto key everyone's vocals and shit. Yeah, sure. Let's record a single. I'm not knocking the hustle, dude.
Yeah, you waiting for 2K. Yeah, you waiting for 2K. Yeah, I'm up here in Eugene, smoking on some new green, checking out some new scenes. And you waiting for 2K. 2K.
That should I guess it's a single, but that should just be the intro to his show. They should just play that song. Oh my god. Oh, it is pretty cringe, chat. I'm not gonna lie. It's just rich guy shit, man. Oh my god. It's all good, they'll play that at his whenever he does his like McAfee charity show that he does every year. That was a fun time. I'm sure he'll perform it live with like a jelly roll or something. Oh man. It's just rich old guy shit. Rich old guy side quests, Speaking of rich old guys, CM Punk is having gear made to honor the Macho Man. He just tells a story, a little
names, but somebody very high in the office walked past and saw it.
It was Rob Van Dam. It was Paul Heyman. Who gets high? Who smokes weed other than Pat McAfee, who's in the office now?
And found me and said, do not wear that gear on television. And I said, you got it. And I wore the gear on television because that's what I do. I'm going to pay homage to Randy Savage, whether you like it or not.
That rules. So speaking of ruling the world, Psycho Circus versus the Wyatt Six in Carnival of Carnage at Guerra de Titanes, Titans, the 20th of December at Arena Guadalajara. So yeah, I will be definitely checking that out because I don't know what the fuck a Carnival of Carnage is, but I'm here for it, Eric. FOD to Wake, WWE has filed to trademark the name FOD to Wake. So I'm not sure who this is for, what this is for, but it's someone's name and we'll learn soon enough. Tonight is NXT Deadline. We have some ticket and ratings updates. Last Friday's WWE SmackDown only saw a small decline from the prior week, despite airing the night after Thanksgiving. 1.142 million viewers, down 6%. The key demo was a 0.28, down 3%. Year over year, SmackDown was down 24%, while an 18 to 49 was down 36%. Last year's numbers were ranked using the old Nielsen panel only system, which is more favorable for wrestling shows. And then NXT ratings. So Raj Giri said, I'm wondering if we're going to have to put X's for the last week's NXT number like I did with Raw. It's odd that it's still not out. I've asked around and haven't gotten anything. We know that CW's pissed at the new big plus panel data, whatever the fuck. And we know it ain't going to change because the sports love it. And pro wrestling ain't liking it too much. And NXT, they got fucking mad like the CW folks got, or who the fuck motherfuckers were getting mad. We covered it on the show, but there were CW folks saying like, we're pleased with it. Yeah. And then it was the CW. They got mad about, so NXT, WWE hasn't come out and been like, we're mad about this, but the CW is like upset with the new ratings. And they're like, there's a discrepancy. Why does it affect us? So now no ratings are coming out. It's like, I don't know, man. So yeah, NXT deadline. This is 3 hours ago. So the current setup's about 2,000, and they sold about 2,000 tickets. So the total seats on the map are about 2,000. So with the stage and all of that, it's a sellout. So good for them. And so far, Ricky Saints, Time Cop, if you're hearing this in like a clip or whatever the fuck, but Ricky Saints and Obafemi have been throwing down, and it's been a pretty solid match. Ricky Saints does a couple moves there where I'm like, I don't know why you do these all the time, man. They're not that crispy clean, but maybe not everything can be crispy clean. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWF news. WWF news. Where's my breaking news? Let's go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have some shit to break down, yeah. So, God, there's tons of WWE's, AEW stuff to get into this evening. I don't even know where to start. Most of it is accusations, some of it's updates. Maybe we'll do we'll do the dramas, all of the hot dramas last. And so signed to be airing on, okay, so we have some post Ring of Honor stuff. Yeah, we'll go through all of this MISC stuff, and then we'll get into like the dramas, the dramas. There's big dramas in the world of AEW right now, and a lot of accusations being thrown around and all of these sorts of things. So we're going to dive into all of this plus more. And also there's a UFC on tonight, which I don't know if people are watching that. I'm not sure if like this NXT show is going to wrap up right before the pay-per-view. I have to assume that's what's going on, but I don't know for sure. We'll have to see. So, let's get into this over here. And we have like the Netflix buying Here's the thing, though. I don't think it's locked and sealed that they bought WBD. I don't think it's like 100% they own it quite yet. Like, I think that it's still sort of like in purgatory a little bit. Obafemi's doing his thing. If he loses this, I wonder if he gets called up. I truly wonder if that's the case, because everybody's been speculating on it for so fucking long. Let me turn this up a bit. It's like he's main roster ready. Okay, so let's start with, we'll go through and do these thises and that's. So, ladies and gentlemen, all together in the chat at the same time, Ichi ni Sanda. It's time for AEW news. So, Deonna Purrazzo became the first ever women's ROH Pure champion after all this time of this tournament that's been delayed again. So it is what it is. There, per Brian Alvarez, Darby Allin is legitimately been hospitalized, and AEW will now determine whether he can wrestle the rest of the Continental Classic. And I guess he got hurt in the Kevin Knight match. That spot looked the scariest, was the coast to coast. He got smashed with that move. I don't know if that's the move, where he got hurt, but he did get hurt. He was in the hospital for a while, but they did clear him because he ended up going home so he can travel. The impression I was given was they're going to find out more on Collision. He might stay in the tournament and he might not. They have to figure it out the next few days, depending on how he's doing. So I don't know. He's just selling this thing. He can't stay healthy. Darby just, I think he's fallen off really hard in AEW. I think he was really over at one point, and even like the Jim Cornettes and shit were like, you know, this kid's got something. And then he just completely, it's like nothingness now. You know what I mean? So Red Velvet beat Mercedes Moné. So Mercedes, you know what they say? Sometimes in life you got to be a hoe, but sometimes in life
you got to be a hoe.
You got to give it up, which I guess is the same thing as being a hoe. You know what I mean? But yeah, so Red Velvet beat Mercedes Moné and won this TV title, which I think is surprising, but it doesn't hurt Moné. Like, she can just say that she has 13 belts still or whatever, 12, 13. It doesn't even matter. None of it really matters. And this does help Red Velvet in some capacity. I mean, like, it's a big win. Maybe it puts some eyeballs on ROH. It seems like Tony McCann is really trying hard to get people hyped up about ROH because
the best guys, Tony Khan.
TNA announced, like, hey, we got this TV deal, pal. So it really seems as though that is like what's happening. He's like really hoping to get Obafemi's the goddamn champion, the NXT champ. Yeah, he's never getting called up. He's just an NXT for lifer, dude. NXT for lifer. Chat, what do you think about that, dude? NXT for lifer Obafemi here. God damn. Round of applause for Oba, but like, damn. That's wild, man. Guys, there's like 200 watching. There's like 70 on X. The rest are on YouTube. Run those likes. Get them to 100. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell a friend, all that good shit. God damn, Oba's the NXT champ again. Does Saints get called up before Oba? Anyways, so let's do some more news here. We got to rip through all of this. It's the pressing stuff, right? Not depressing, the pressing, or maybe depressing too, depending if who you ask. But Tony Khan says that no matter what happens, AEW is signed to be airing on TNT, TBS, and HBO Max through 27 for sure. TK notes they have a great relationship with WBD and David Zaslav. Tony puts HBO over as the greatest brand in all of TV. So that's his response to, he said that at the press conference. I'm going to leave that in there as we talk about TV stuff. Brian Danielson says he's struggling with AEW commentary role due to neck issues. Okay. So he's like, I wasn't anticipating being a commentator. I was at home. They asked me to come in because Taz was getting shoulder surgery and he's just struggling to lug luggage around and stuff like that. That's why it's called luggage. So I have a cervical pillow now that I have to travel with me. He's hurting, dude. He's falling apart. And he even admitted, hey, maybe my return to wrestling was a pipe dream. And it's like, bro, no shit. You know, like, this is what WWE tried to prevent. They didn't want this happening to you at this stage in your life. And now it's like you're all fucked up and you're struggling to do commentary even. And you can tell, man, he just sounds asleep when he's on commentary. He burns out so quick, and he's probably just dealing with pain. And so that's lingering in the back of his head, and he's not thinking of, like, quick, witty shit to say. You know? So Tony Khan says that he has an idea of doing an all-women show in AEW ROH, suggesting a Global Wars special with women wrestlers from all over. Definitely an all-women's event with women from all over is something I've thought about. And again, potentially a Global Wars, bringing women from every company all over. I don't know, man. And then the graphic they use, just like Abaddon and shit, Mercedes Martinez, like people who don't even work there. So maybe, I don't think Tony Khan should do like a all women show. He needs to figure out how to book women and luchadors better. And we have a woman complaining about how luchadors were treated in AEW, which is super ironic. So we're going to get into that. But AEW sources say Lena Cross is believed to have signed with the company. So there you go. Zayna Steele's over there as well. Zeta Steele. Luther came out here. Santa Luther came out with a Christmas gift there. I don't know why, but I think I tried to put this in my Christmas folder for the Christmas show. The PWT Christmas special. Ho, ho, ho. All right, so we're going to put that in there. Behind the scenes PWT here. So moving along here, the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring is back, and this time around, the winner will get an AEW World Championship match in 2026 at some time. So December 17 is the Battle Royal, December 24 is the final, and then January 14 is a world title shot. And then Drain Bamager says, will MJF be back to defend it? Yeah, you got to believe he'll be back to defend it. That's all I can think of is, MJF coming back. Why else would they just whip this out of nowhere? And I'm okay with this, I guess. But again, just like another tournament, more or less, in AEW. So nothing original can ever happen. Tony Khan says that ROH had interest from TV. I'm just tournamented out. Even the last time is now tournament. I don't know. I'm just tournamented out. Tony Khan says that ROH has had interest from TV companies, but really? But AEW is right now the focus with a $500 million media rights contract. So you buy this company for millions of dollars. How much did Tony Khan buy ROH for? And let's just see what like AI Google tells us. Less than $4 million. So he spent $4 million on this thing, or just under that. And we got a $500 million for fucking AEW. So we're just making that our focus point, even though, well, why don't you hire people and put them in place to run this thing then? Like, why do you have to be hands-on with everything? It's the Vince McMahon shit. It's just this billionaire ego shit. Okay? Like, he needs to fucking stop. Tony Khan needs to stop letting himself become spread so thin, and he needs to stop being overly involved in all this shit. Football, soccer, all that stuff. Give it all up and just do wrestling, or just book a Ring of Honor and let competent people run AEW, or just run AEW. And like, I don't want to tell people what to do. Okay. I'm a man of many interests as well, but it's like, God damn, you got to hone in on like what you're good at, and run with it. But TK adds that Honor Club with $10 a month still brings in good revenue. It's like, what? And yeah, because it goes directly in his pocket, and Warner Bros. Nobody owns a piece of that, but he's able to promote Ring of Honor and shit on Warner Brothers and stuff. So that's been good for him in that regard. But I think Tony Khan would be better off just selling ROH to WWE. And it's not even like I want that. Like, I would love if Ring of Honor was in the conversation of ROH versus TNA versus NXT versus, but it's not even in the conversation of like being alongside MLW and shit right now. There's no hype on Ring of Honor. Now, Mercedes losing, and are they putting hype on Ring of Honor right now? Yes, they are. Why? Because I think Tony, that's the thing. It's always reactionary with Tony Khan. I always point it out on the show. Like, TNA gets this TV deal. Oh, I could do that. I could get a fucking Ring of Honor TV, like Ring of Honor. Oh, we're going to get a TV deal for that. Like, he was supposed to do that with Jericho twice, was the rumor. Never happened. And then speculated, well, Monet could help them. Now they're just dropping the title. I don't know what the fuck the plan is. Tony Khan's just trying to make some shit go viral and then get people talking about Ring of Honor. So I respect that aspect of it. But like, dude, you fucked up. He fucked up from the get-go when he bought Ring of Honor. Then he's like, I'm restoring everything to its retro aesthetic. And it's like, bro, you should have fucking absorbed all the Ring of Honor titles into your TNA ones, or TNA ones, pardon me, your AEW ones, the way WWE did with WCW and ECW and all that shit. Because that's the aspect people did want to see. Like, even when Jim Cornette guest books The Invasion, the main focal point of his shit is like, there will be only one champ, like US versus IC title, WCW versus WWE title, you know? We all want to see that part of it. Even in NXT TNA, like, I don't want to see, like, if the TNA title just absorbed the NXT title, we would all lose our fucking shit. But what Tony should have did is he should have like absorbed it all and then had them lose like a faux war against his company, but then remain babyface by going, well, you know, we're going to re-establish Ring of Honor as like a place where young talent can showcase and the indie talent can showcase, and we're going to bring it back to its old look and all this shit. And he could have baby-faced himself as like, yeah, my company swallowed this company because that's what we're doing anyways. Like, that's what AEW did anyways. They just took all their guys, like, who were getting over, the Righteous, Dalton Castle, all these guys, and then just fucking, now they just disappeared. So it's like, why Jay Lethal just fucking gone, you know? It's like they should have absorbed it and then rebranded it as like an NXT with the retro aesthetic and then reintroduced each title slowly. That would have worked way better. But instead, Tone was just like, here's ROH champions. Here, the ROH champion is also our fucking tag champion. Go watch ROH. And it's like, what? That's not going to work. So, yeah, Darby's out. We talked about that. After 164 glorious episodes, Hey EW is coming to an end. So even Hey EW is done. This random pod they do for their fucking they do for their YouTube channel, and I'm not trying to hate, but like, their shit don't get views, man. The last AEW Unrestricted, which PWT Unrestricted, coming to Patreon soon, they interviewed the guy who wrote This Book Is All Elite or whatever. And so I'm going to Jocktober that over on Patreon because I just get sniped like that. I think Aubrey, I don't know who Don Stevens is, but they take you roasting Unrestricted really personally. But yeah, they get like 600 views on that shit. And like, it's not even view shaming, like views and subs. That's all fucking like, it's all just like vanity at the end of the fucking day, right? There's a lot of YouTubers who crush it in certain areas and whatever, you know. There's people who just make shorts who get like 10 billion views, and you know what I mean. It doesn't mean as much as fucking, you know, shorts give you like a penny, you know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever. So they're trying to have an online presence though, AEW is, and to just completely axe this show, Hey EW, this is like one of their only real entertaining pieces of programming on that channel. But I gotta be honest, like, who is watching it? Unless like David Arquette was on one, I went out of my way to watch that. There was a couple I went out of my way to watch, and RJ City is great, but there's just no hype around it. They don't promote it. People come and go. Like Taya Valkyrie started like a here's my travel at each location show for the AEW Twitter, and then it just disappeared. Like, she doesn't do that in every town. Then they have Harley Cameron doing them, and then you know, and then all of a sudden she's not doing them for every town because she's not at every, or whatever the fuck. And they just need momentum, and not even a show like this. Like, even shows like this are getting canceled off YouTube, and fucking sickos are talking about, well, you know, AEW Dark could come back after this Netflix Warner Bros deal and shit. And it's like, bro, they're canceling more YouTube shows. Why would they add YouTube shows? It seems like they're doing as little as possible. And Tony Khan's cutting as much corners, resources as he can. That's what appears to be happening. So at the end of the day, this isn't a good sign, okay? That this is also being canceled.
4 years.
So
164 episodes.
And people will just brush this under the rug. Well, like, oh, it's just a dumb YouTube show. But it's like, no, man. No, like they're downsizing everything. Even this is why I think Collision's going to at least be taped after Dynamite all the time. if it's not already, or they'll just air it on Wednesdays after Dynamite because the rating then looks better and it just saves them money and shit. They're not going to go set up on a Thursday and fucking tape it for Saturday. Like, Tony's just cutting all corners at this point and cutting costs.
Turns on the sign one last time.
And he's going to desperately make a play to get ROH a TV deal.
And nobody really cares. The final AEW. Watch this at the crack of dawn.
And at least, like, RJ can take the piss. And nobody really cares. Here's the end. It's like, yeah. If people don't care, it's like... run those likes up to 100, ladies and gentlemen. 60 of you guys hit like. There's 2x that amount watching on YouTube alone. You guys can match that. If you're on X, come on over to YouTube, hit that like. Thank you guys for tuning in. But Zeta Steele hits Ring of Honor with one name at the top of her list, Miss Layla Gray. So here's Zeta Steele.
Big fan.
And again, doing a bit of overacting here.
And Layla, I've been watching a lot of your stuff. Big fan. I would love a match. And from one baddie to another, what do you say?
All right. I respect it. You want it? You got it.
And Layla.
And then Layla Gray got the win. So they bring Zeta Steele in from WWE Evolve, whatever the fuck. They put her in ROH, whatever. That's a good place for her, honestly. And then they put her against Layla Gray, who everyone's like, you should push more. And then Layla Gray gets the win, which is good, but it's like after all this time of not pushing Layla Gray, but it's in Ring of Honor, so I'm honestly not even going to really shit on it. Ring of Honor is just a super indie. It's what AEW should have been this whole time and what it will become. This animal I have become. Oh. So the ROH Final Battle media call with Tony Khan is about to begin, and the Wrestling Observer talks to Tony Khan, and he jokes and reveals the secret of good booking, doing tapings. No, Tony's not who we ask about good booking. Like, no, he hasn't booked good for long enough to where he can say what good booking is or isn't. I'm so tired of people asking him questions like this. And he thinks this year's been the most complete and best year of TV streaming specials for ROH since he bought it. Why? Because there's less shows and you're just focusing on the key pay-per-views for ROH. So it's like a super indie, like what you should have did with AEW. Should just be like 4 pay-per-views a year. And I don't know, man. Speaking of ROH, Tony Khan says he's still trying to get Lovin' on Me by Jack Harlow for Blake Christian. He noted that the last time he addressed it, he gotten 1% approval. If he could get the other 99% by tomorrow, he'd love to play it. So Jack Harlow is represented. Just look who represents him, you know, who he works with. Okay. And it's like, no, he's going to keep turning AEW down. So speaking of Final Battle, Khan said he's had opportunities at times to put ROH on TV. Then why didn't you? From great media partners. But AEW is the focus with the $500 million. Then why didn't you put ROH on TV and put a little pile of money on top of your $500 million? Why don't you put that little extra pile of money on top of the $500 million? Like, I don't get it. I just don't believe. And maybe he had offers, but it was for like Roku and shit. And he's like, I'm turning that down. So then they just went with NWA and shit. Wasn't good enough for Tone. He thinks ROH media rights don't have to be equal or greater than that. No shit. But any ROH deal has to be something that makes sense in the perfect situation with a media partner. He says there has been interest. All right, we'll take him at his word. He doesn't even know the numbers that his own show does, but I guess we'll take him at his word. Tony Khan confirmed Supercard of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, and Final Battle 2026. So again, just the main PLEs, right? Like 3 pay-per-views for Ring of Honor a year, 1 every 4 months. Just treat it like a super indie. I mean, he's got the right idea for ROH. Hopefully this executes. Like, I'm pulling for ROH, but hopefully this fucking plays out. Like, hopefully Tony can manage it. I just don't think he can. I think he needs to put other people in charge of the shit. Otherwise, it's not going to play out. So, yeah, Danielson, we talked about that earlier. He was delusional to hope he'd get back in the ring. It appears that AEW Full Gear pay-per-view did in the range of 140,000 pay-per-view buys. This is according to Dave Seltzer, man.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
Like, he's lying, dude. He's 100% lying. Like, 100%, man. There's no way. The Google Trends and everything would indicate that there's no possible way that it did this. 140,000, that's such wishful thinking. I just don't believe it. And it's 100%. I would minus 30% off of that automatically. And it's 100% not true if Dave Meltzer's saying it. And that's all I'll say about that. So, Full Gear appears at a... No, that's false. We'll unbookmark that. Chris Statlander's taking on Dakota Kai March 8th at the O2 Indigo. So there you go at Wrestle Queendom. You get AEW champ Chris Statlander taking on Dakota Kai for the Eve International Championship. And just versus Charlie. Her name's just Charlie. So no Dakota Kai, just Charlie. And good. It's awesome. She'll be back. Hopefully she does well. And I'm surprised Dakota Kai hasn't shown up anywhere yet, but she's doing her Twitch thing. Like, she's having success in other areas. So she'll show up somewhere, and she would be a great addition to TNA or AEW. I mean, I guess, right? They're booking women more in AEW. So I don't know. They'd end up just sticking her in fucking ROH with Layla Gray and Zeta Steele here, I'm sure. So we have some what do we have here? We have the two big newses. So the Continental Classic standings after Dynamite. We have the Gold League, Kyle Fletcher's 2-0, Kevin Knight's 1-1, Okada's got 3 points, Pac's got 3 points, Mike Bailey's got none, Darby Allin's got none, and won't be able to continue in the tournament. Claudio's got 6 points, then 3 behind Moxley behind him, Takeshita with 3. Strong has no points. Cassidy and Dorada all have no points. And Mascara Dorada hurt himself at the CMLL show. So he got power bombed on the back of his head and he was fucking hurt or whatever. And then you have someone else got banged up at CMLL as well. So unfortunate, and people are getting banged up and hurt. So moving along, I think we have a couple Tony Khan Crange, and then we're getting into the big stories here that I know you guys are itching to hear me riff about. So here's Tony Khan doing the 6-7 meme.
7. We're going to need a lot of chairs. 4 champions, 6 wrestlers, 7 of them.
So now they just do the press scrum in front of the ring? Talk about cutting costs.
6 wrestlers, 7 of us, 6, 7.
Oh my God. 6, 7 of us. So yeah, 6, 7. He did the 6, 7. God damn, man. The whole world is fucking cringe. The whole goddamn world is cringe as fuck. Craziness. Okay, let's see. So okay, we got 2 big ass stories to get to here. I'm gonna fucking hydrate. And yes, we are watching Deadline, folks. So the women's Deadline match is on. We have Thursday in the ring, repping with the Evolve title. We have Kalani Jordan and Jordan Grace throwing down in this thing as well thus far. And yeah, shocks and surprises at Deadline thus far. This card's been good. And these Deadline matches, again, I don't need fucking 2 of them, but the last year, I'm pretty sure both of them cooked, even though the women's and men's were both on the same card. They went really hard. And so this match type like won me over when it first was introduced. Same with like the whole speed concept. Like I didn't really like it at all. And it disappeared. So maybe more people were with me than weren't with me on that. But speed sort of won me over. This deadline shit won me over for sure over time. And yeah, they're doing their thing here. Jordan's hitting this fucking backslide slam into the turnbuckle here. So let's get into these big stories, man. I told you we have so goddamn much to get to. And I gotta drink some goddamn coffee over here. Yeah, guys, like, what are they doing? This whole, like, duck the backhand, duck the kick, duck the whatever, duck the kick. It's like, come on, man. It just looks a little cheesy. Soda water. You got to throw that shit with force if you're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, yeah, we're going to talk Netflix. We're going to... We're going to talk all that good shit. Let's see here. Hey, peoples, what's up, Lucy? Phil is such a speed stan. Are you not watching Deadline? No, I am, dude, but it's just such a jam-packed show. Like, so much happened over the last, like, 3 days or whatever that we got to talk about all this shit. So, the big news here. Netflix seemingly acquired Warner Brothers, and it's fucking absolutely insane. Here, sorry, let's get into this in a second. I just saw a super chat float in before. I don't want to like leave you waiting, because I'm about to fucking talk. Get your super chats in, folks. Like, subscribe, patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. Rabid Wolverine LC Killer 17 for 2 says, hi, Phil. What is your Spotify wrap for 2025? Bro, I've not been using Spotify. I've been using YouTube Music or whatever the fuck. Not even music, dude. I just been using like I've just been making playlists on YouTube and like using that. I swear to God, I don't know why. But I'm sure I've listened to a few things on Spotify rap, but I don't know. I didn't look at what my most watched channels were either, or any of that shit this year. I've just been busy. So with the grind and shit. So hopefully embracing the grind, bruv. So I don't know. I'll check it, then get back to you, because I'm sure I've listened to maybe like less than 10 shits on Spotify this whole year. You know, thank you so much for the super chat. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the big breaking news right here. Again, let's do another Ichi Nissan to celebrate. Netflix acquiring WB. So, allegedly, apparently, Netflix has officially announced they're acquiring Warner Bros. For $82.7 billion. Now, some people are like, oh, come on now, Phil, that's not very fair. We all got the email and all of that. I'm just throwing it out there because this came out via at CG Asperino, and this is via Culture Crave here. A Trump admin regulator says Warner Bros. Is far more likely to collect its $5.8 billion breakup fee than getting this Netflix deal through the regulatory process. And you have like the Writers Guild, you have fucking people writing to Netflix and Warner Bros. And like urging people like, no, you can't make this deal. This will be so bad for Hollywood. This will be bad for fucking everything. Like, this deal can't go through. This is monopolizing. Like, people are melting down over this shit. You have a lot of people on the internet saying like, okay, Netflix, they're going to woke and gay up everything fucking WB now or whatever. And I don't know if this will happen, but hey, all I'll say is that Donald Trump is the reason we're getting Rush Hour 4 with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. So if he can greenlight that, he can greenlight this sale. No, I'm just joking. Listen, man, I don't know. This is just what's floating around now. Like this, people will block this from happening. There's theories out there. I'm just going with they acquired the shit by all accounts. So I'm just going with that. But I got to bring it up on the show, that people are out there saying like, no, this will get blocked and there's no way this will whatever. I don't know. I'm just playing it by they acquired it and they're already hyping up Big Bang Theory and shit. Y'all see that email? We're going to read it. So Netflix has officially announced that they're acquiring Warner Bros. For $82.7 billion. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Fucking crazy. Crazy amount. Netflix, come on down. So they claim they will continue to release films in theaters. I believe them. Now, as somebody who I have friends who write shit. Like, I have friends who've worked on some shit that people have seen, man. I don't want to see jobs or anything go away, but at the same time, people don't go to the fucking theaters like they used to. So do you really need... do we need more movies in theaters just to bomb and shit? I don't know. Like, that's a conversation to be had as well. I love the cinema, dude. Or as Lincoln Hawk would say, the theater. He was with me on my Stranger Things review. You guys need to check that out. It was awesome. But like, I don't know if we need just put the shit in there that's going to draw. Does Netflix have the best gauge on what should go in the theater and what shouldn't? We already know they're open to okay, this movie does K-pop Demon Hunters did so well on Netflix. We're going to give it a theatrical run. We're starting to see with movies with popularity, even like Black Phone 2, it goes into theaters for 2 months. Then but the plan is we're doing a short theater run regardless and we're just going to fucking street digital sale or whatever right away regardless, because we know we're going to make money off it. I don't fucking know what the answer is, okay? All I know is that I do love that more shit is easily accessible. I love that more high-level movies are being put directly to streaming right away, because the theater prices are so fucking inflated now that until they people are picking what movie to go to. People pick, we're going to Zootopia 2, right? That shit beat Wicked. The opening weekend beat Wicked's global shit the fucking first weekend, okay? Wicked 2 or whatever. That's how good Zootopia is. Why? Because everyone chose, and all these kids who are like, Mom, I want to go see this or I want to go see that. Their parents were like, you got to pick one. You're going to see fucking Zootopia 2. You know what I mean? So that, the theaters got to figure shit out on their end as well before I'm going to be like, oh no, less. And here's the thing. More streaming slop movies isn't good either. Okay. But hopefully, the DCU stays intact, and I want to go watch Superman in theaters. So hopefully that doesn't change and shit. But the deal won't close until Q3 26 after WBD splits its networks into separate companies. HBO Max will be kept around, and WB HBO content will start being added to Netflix. God damn. So what happens to Crave in Canada? Does it just go away and I just pay for Netflix? Yes, please. For me, yes, please. People are like, oh, AEW might go to Netflix. I don't think that'll ever fucking happen. And if it does, then it's all on one shit for me. I don't watch AEW on fucking Crave. They only have Collision on there, but now they just added it. And it's weird because, again, in Canada, Crave added all this shit out of nowhere. And then they just fucking get acquired by Netflix, and it's all going to start slowly going to Netflix. I don't know, but I'm down with Batman and shit all going in net. I'm cool with everything being in one spot. As a consumer. as like someone who, hey, maybe one day I want to write a thing or fucking produce a thing or direct a thing. Yeah, this gets a little scary. This gets a little scary. But again, it's like when Disney bought Fox and all this shit, right? They still let Fox like make Simpsons and fucking Family Guy and all that, but like they own it. Same with like, okay, Lucasfilm, we bought that. Yes, Disney fucked up Lucasfilm, but like they're like, Lucasfilm's its own thing still, but we're like doing our thing. You know what I mean? Disney owns it. Same with Marvel. Like, well, it's Marvel people running it, but we own it now type thing. I just hope it doesn't get like muddied up and everything just gets downgraded because of this. I guess if you're like a consumer and shit, so everything being in one spot, good. Everything getting like watered down the way Star Wars has and shit, I'm not for that. I don't want to see the DCU as they're just establishing it and it's different and it's polarizing, but at least it's like its own fucking thing. James Gunn's trying to make it different than what the DCEU was and the MCU is. Does it just become MCU-ish and then we just have like MCU and DCU, they're just like the same thing, but like I just don't want shit to get watered down, and I know Disney doesn't own Warner Bros, but I'm just saying, like, does it go in that direction because Netflix just owns everything and everything gets watered down? Yes, there's a potential of that. I'm fucking worried about that too as a consumer. So there's, I guess, a positive, there's a negative as a consumer. As a fan, as like someone who watches AEW, what this means for AEW, I don't really give a fuck where AEW ends up. There's no hype on AEW, right? If tomorrow they're like, you're not allowed to watch AEW in Canada anymore, that would fucking suck. But like, would I lose sleep? I mean, not really, bro. It's not like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just becoming a hater on it too much, but it's just like nothing's standing out. There's nothing that gets me excited on those goddamn shows anymore. It's just all run its course for me. There's no wrestlers where I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Like maybe when Edge comes back, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's Joe's cool. But again, it's just like he's just feuding some of the same guys he's already feuded. It's not like they're doing anything like riveting with him. It's just Joe's a badass and he's fucking dudes up. So does this mean AEW is going to end up on Netflix? No, dude. Also, like TNT and TBS might go away and shit. Like they're not interested in like cable and whatnot. They just want streaming and the movie business, right? That's what Netflix is interested in. So it could like shift things. But as far as AEW is concerned, from now until like 2027 or wherever their TV deal is, like it's going to be the same. We're just going to be consuming AEW the same for the next little while. So I know this is a big deal now, but in the next like year or two is when we'll really know what happens. And I think early in the year, we'll know what happens with Collision because of this TNA deal as well. Like, this doesn't mean AEW's dead. Even with Netflix buying it, they might just take AEW and keep it on some streamer or whatever the fuck. But wouldn't this technically mean that, because they say that WBD owns like 5% of AEW, right? That's what like Thirsty Thurston and some people speculate. So wouldn't this mean Netflix owns 5% of that? Or where does the ownership of that 5% lie and shit? That's what's so compelling, about all of this, and we'll discover it all. And again, I don't want like AEW folks to be out of jobs. I know there's sickos like, oh, what, you just want them to go out of business? No, I really don't. But it's like, this is the problem when Dave and all these people talk all this shit, and then people like attack Niccolo Piccolo, and he's like trying to warn everybody, guys, this is what's going to happen. And everybody like Jim Cornette and folks like myself and the over the 200 people watching right now across X and YouTube, I'm sure a bunch of you agree. Like, hey, we've been trying to warn these motherfuckers for how long, So it's like kind of unfortunate. And Tony Khan, if he had spent more time keeping his YouTube presence stronger, I think people would be more inclined to follow AEW wherever it ends up. But unfortunately, this could end up being a situation where TNA or like TNA like a decade ago, where AEW ends up on like True TV or some just like obscure fucking streamer that like Netflix owns. Like, are they going to keep HBO Max around, or are they just getting rid of it? Are they just going to add an HBO section on their fucking thing? Like, who knows in the next 5 years what this looks like? So there's so many fucking questions to be answered, and this does answer. And look at how the conservative media and like already Trump admins are saying this. Like, we know that they like TKO and they like UFC and WWE and all this shit. So there's that underlying factor that should be considered when discussing if there's going to be trouble for AEW. Like, yeah, there might be people that WWE and Netflix have relationships with who are like, Nick Khan might be like in people's ears, like, no, fuck that Tony Khan guy in AEW, get rid of this. And he might be able to have dinner with someone who in 2 years, when that TV deal's up, where they're like, banish this shit to the shadow realm, this guy talks shit about us or whatever. Like, we don't fucking know. So everybody talking like they know what's going on and what's really gonna, whether AEW's safe or whether I saw some sickos being like AEW could become more popular and Netflix could realize they made a mistake with. It's like, man, you're all mental. You're all mental. Like, they would just buy TNA if that was the case. They would just buy TNA. They would be like, oh, this thing's got a TV. You know what I mean? They're not like sweating AEW like that. And a lot of people talk, and like now you see Tony Khan like scrambling, trying to, oh, we need ROH to get a TV deal. Why? Because there's no way, even if, let's say, like after this TV deal with AEW, let's say WBD or whatever form, Netflix, we'll just call it, let's say they want to keep AEW around. They're not going to give it nearly as much money as they were. And then what if Netflix reveals the real streaming numbers for AEW and we find out that Dave Meltzer's been capping and shit? You know? Like that, I mean, that would be fucking nutty, dude. So let's read through some of this. We have reactions. We have information on this. Netflix will not acquire WBD's linear works. And this is according to PWI. Those channels, including TNT and TBS, will be spun off into a new company, Discovery Global, which will also retain ownership of Bleacher Report and Discovery Plus. Netflix will acquire HBO Max, where AEW streaming rights end up, and when the purchase process is completed remains to be seen. But one would assume they remain unchanged after AEW's current WBD contracts. And it's, I don't know, man, Discovery Plus. So that remains separate. Like that's just like this other company that Netflix doesn't have. And TNT TBS will be spun off into Discovery Global. Oh, man, it's just not looking good. It's just not looking good, man. And yeah, they're not interested in like cable and shit. So maybe AEW just exists on Discovery Plus or some shit. Who fucking knows, man? But yeah, movies and streaming, that's where it's at. And I believe Netflix when they're like, we'll still stay in the movie business. I believe that because Warner Bros. Themselves have proved that they can put out some bangers in the theaters and shit this year already. But just because you can do that, just because you can get 5-star and 10 fucking star ratings on Cage Match and Meltzer's magazine, shit rag, doesn't mean that, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that everything's okay, dude. And I wonder if Netflix can then turn around and go, well, we're going to release Batgirl now just because. I don't think they would do that, but can they do that? Can they turn around and be like, well, we know that WBD wrote this off as like a tax to like save their asses or whatever before, but that was years before we acquired this shit. We own the rights to this thing that never got released. We're going to release it now. Could that happen? There's just so much shit I want to know. And I can't wait to see it play out, especially the AEW stuff. All I hope is that we get the true AEW streaming numbers through all of this some way, somehow. Some way, somehow. Gonna make it out right, but not right now. That's all I hope that happens. So Netflix won the bidding war to purchase Warner Bros. Discovery. They're entering exclusive deal talks with Netflix, offering $30 a share and a $5 billion breakup fee. The sale's not yet finalized. And this is what I mean. It's not finalized quite yet. Exclusive. A group of major industry players has sent an urgent open letter to Congress warning of an economic and institutional meltdown in Hollywood if Netflix succeeds in acquiring Warner Bros. Discovery. The letter was sent via email to members of Congress from both parties on Thursday from an anonymous collective identifying themselves only as concerned feature film producers. And yeah, man, this means like Netflix could... This means like job consolidation in a way, right? Like they can pick and choose who they want to direct, and Netflix puts out some bullshit, you know? So these big things like Batman and shit, they're gonna ultimately at the end of the day have the say, and people look at like, this could mean the end of some jobs. It could mean some new jobs open up in Netflix, you know? But as far as like James Gunn, what happens to him? Are they like, oh, no, man, Superman bombed too hard for us? I don't think that'll happen, but what happens to fucking Lanterns is coming out soon, dude. I'm looking forward to that show. It's like, what happens there? It's so interesting. And yeah, there's a lot of people in Hollywood right now like, shit, you know, this could fuck things up, but it's on the artist side. On the business side, people are high-fiving, fucking wagging their dicks. Maybe not. Maybe there's some people who are like, nah, we want Paramount to go. Who fucking knows? But on the artist side, it's like they're melting down, and maybe there's a strike again. Maybe there's people who but then you don't want to not be considered by Netflix by being like, I'm striking on behalf of Warner Brothers. Like this has happened in Hollywood since day one. You know, everything's been merging. And people are like worried about a monopoly, but the problem is that you have like 3 monopolies going, like, you know, 3 fucking major companies own like everything. Thank God you're starting to see more like independent production studios. Like you're starting to see actors who made millions and shit teaming up with, you know, investors who made millions and shit. They start their own production company, and that's always been a thing. But we're starting to see more of those studios like have movies that are hits and shit. So thank God for that as well. And then we have AI swooping in, you know, so like people are fucking sweating in Hollywood there, bud. Good thing everybody can work remote these days, you know what I mean? So Paramount has accused Warner Bros. Of an unfair bidding process, okay, to buy the studio. They add that WB's management is appearing to favor Netflix's offer. Yeah, no shit. That's called negotiation, bud. Oh, man. So Tony Khan heard about all this. And yeah, he says that no matter what happens, AEW is signed to be airing on TNT, TBS, and HBO Max through 2027 for sure. He notes they have a great relationship with WBD and David Zaslav. Tony puts HBO over as the greatest brand in all of TV. And then what if that's on Netflix and they say, we don't want you here because we're with WWE? Do you know what I'm saying? So he's like actively still putting over HBO that Netflix owns and is going to kick them off of HBO. It's just so embarrassing. And it's not like he's got to say, fuck all that. But just say, listen, we're in place and we're going to negotiate another amazing TV deal. I assure you. But he's just like still putting HBO over, hopefully trying to keep them happy in his mind or something. In hopes of what? Like they keep HBO. So Netflix will keep HBO Max its own thing and still stream HBO. I'm sure of it. There's no way they just go, Netflix is now on, or HBO Max is now on Netflix. Or maybe they do that. And it's just like the way on Disney Plus, there's like stars with the adult section. HBO Max is like, here you go. Here's the titty shows or whatever. Click on this section. So Tony Khan says, yeah, without getting into anything that is yet to be determined, I just want to say we have a great partnership with WBD, and it will continue for many years to come. We have years left on our remaining agreement. I'm really proud of what we built, and I think it's going to be for a long time to come. It's going to be like this with WBD before anything is settled out. I'm very excited for the future. I think we have great partnerships. What I can say from the things that are public knowledge, all of the bidders on Warner Bros. Discovery are media partners of the NFL and great media partners of ours. Everybody who has been in the running for this is somebody we work with on the NFL, so I have a lot of respect for all of them. We work closely with all the three bidders in the mix, and we'll see what happens. I have only positive things to say about Netflix and Warner Bros. Discovery. I can tell you for sure, at least until the very end of 27, going into 28, we're going to be on here. We're going to be here for years and years to come, over 2 more years. I'm really excited about it. I don't know, Tone. I think fucking he's just sweating going, I really fucking hope we can stay on the air. Please, Netflix.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
They'll be around like until this TV deal's up or whatever. Because it doesn't all just happen overnight, but and then he's like on the NFL side, it's like, Tone, they work with 32 teams. How many teams are in the NFL? 32, 36? How many teams are in the NFL? I forget. Less than that, whatever. They work with all these fucking teams, man. Like all of these streamers do and shit. It's just about what numbers do you bring in? Is it worth it? Is it worth it to keep it on HBO Max? Or does Tone somehow luck out and Netflix is like, you guys keep that? And then AEW goes to Discovery Plus or whatever that is. I don't know, man. Lex, make sense of this shit, dude. What's going on?
I don't know.
Me neither, bud. So moving along here, we have a couple reactions to this. Then we have some insane drama. Well, we have a reaction, unreaction, singular, a singular reaction here besides mine from old Easy-E, Uncle Eric Bischoff here. And he says for AEW, this picture isn't pretty. We'll hear what he has to say. Shout out Conrad Thompson and Eric Bischoff and 83
come on
weeks.
now, Eric.
The picture for AEW, this is not a personal thing. This is just math. And having spent a couple minutes.
Math is a really cool thing. Math is a wonderful thing.
In the industry on both sides of the equation as an executive and as a producer. The market is going to be extremely tight, and particularly for a show like AEW, whose numbers prove that they're losing an average of 15 to 18% of their audience annually.
That's a huge deal. It's a big deal. They cancel shows for less. Netflix certainly does.
No indication that that's going to change. Why would it change?
Actually, Netflix don't even put shows out annually, motherfucker. I had to wait how many years for Stranger Things?
Brought in every big game they can possibly bring in. Yeah, well, John Cena come flying out of a helicopter and land in an AEW ring. Anything's possible, particularly for that audience online. But in reality, is there anything that could possibly happen from a talent perspective that's going to significantly turn things around for AEW? I think past this prologue, we know the answer to that question. Well, if it's losing 18 to 20 or whatever it is, 15 to 18%, 20% of its audience annually, and there's no reason to think that there's any chance to turn it around, who wants that? So that's where they're really at.
Not a goddamn soul wants that, unfortunately. Okay. Let's check in with I'm gonna check in with chat here. We have this Sarah Stock story, which is crazy. Okay, and she's having a melty. So Kendall Gray won the women's deadline. They're pushing her to the moon. Mr. Iguana comes out against Ethan Page here. I wonder if he wins this title or not. I'm not sure. I'm interested in this big time. I love Mr. Iguana. I'm a Mr. Iguana mark. But yeah, I'm surprised Kendall Gray won it. And so ego's coming out. The ego, dude. The ego rules. So one instant classic for 5 says Netflix already gave the first lady a production deal and documentary deal. They paid upfront to get deals passed. Already gave the first lady a production deal and documentary deal. God damn, man. Are you talking about like Melania Trump? This is what I'm saying. And then Trump got Rush Hour too. You don't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Man, ain't nobody understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. I fucking love Rush Hour, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I don't care how cheesy, even like Rush Hour 3, dude. I fucking love those movies. Chimone Lee, Chimone to the Forcesta. Listen, one instant classic. Thank you so goddamn much for the super chat. Thank you, everybody who supports the goddamn show being volunteered. And yeah, dude, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. It's just like conservative media is kind of getting taken. I don't know if it's like a response to people just wanting shit to be more balanced. I don't know, dude. America, y'all figure your shit out. It's all good. I'm in your corner. USA, let's go. You guys protect Canada, you know? We'd be speaking fucking Russian if it wasn't for you guys. So go USA, you know? So I'm here. I'm down with it, right? Even though the greatest North American champion is Ethan Page, and that is a Maple Leaf on your title. But at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. And we know who if that is the case, they're doing a UFC at the White House. Trump's going to be at Cena's last match. Are they going to fuck with AEW, who's calling people bald assholes, and who Nick Khan hates, and who Cody Rhodes and CM Punk hates, that Netflix is invested in, and here's the rival company. I think that people go to dinner with people who could tell people, fuck that AEW company. That's all I'm saying. Whether that's on paper or not, whether that's on the record or not. You guys pick up what your boy Phil is putting down. Okay? So, Mr. Iguana's playing dead right now. I don't know if we got to just be locked in for Mr. Iguana and then get into this Sarah Stock news here in a half a sicko segment. Guys, I might just pull up this week and do a run-in. So stay tuned for that, where it's just like a long-ass sicko segment. We haven't done one in like 2 or 3 weeks, and it's just piling up. It's going to be a 2-hour show of just sickos because there's been so much going on. So, and then the Sarah Stock situation, it's AEW news, but it is like sicko segment, you know? So I'm like, well, that's going to be on Saturday. So I'm going to do a run-in show, I think, one of these, or maybe we just do a PWT podcast that's like pre-recorded. But listen to how over Mr. Iguana is. So guys, so far, have you been enjoying Deadline? We'll grade it at the end. I have a poll in the chat. Do you guys think Sarah Stock is just being crazy? Do you think it's the best guy? Do you think that this is just reoccurring shit in AEW? Let me know. We're about to break that all down. And we got it all here, folks. And so Obafemi winning the title, I actually like that. I'm not going to lie. Obafemi's just like the Gunther of NXT. Okay, fuck it. I'm done being like, we need to call people up. NXT's about to be like competing with SmackDown. If we're to believe AEW closed the gap on SmackDown, then I'm going to start saying NXT's about to be competing with SmackDown. Like, how much, like, how are people doing this Meltzer math where they say that was amazing too. That was an amazing spot. So Mr. Iguana dropped La Yesca, and it's like, oh, he botched, but no, Paige grabbed him and hit the DDT. I love that. Just capitalizing on that little moment, whether they called that on the fly or that was a spot. Brilliant shit. Good shit, pal. But anyways, though, this Deadline, I like that they put the title on Oba so far. Ricky, I think, could get called up. But I'm done like worrying about it. I just don't give a fuck, man. It's a good wrestling show. NXT is awesome. Just let them have. I don't care if Joe Hendry's 37. Fuck it. Do I want to see him wrestle John Cena and LA Knight and shit? Sure. Am I gonna fucking cry like a baby if he doesn't? No. There's so many top guys. There's so many good wrestlers and top guys everywhere. God damn it, you fickle marks. So. Mr. Iguana, 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 M I like that. The women's deadline, I like that they're pushing Thursday, and she got the win out of nowhere. Clearly, they see big things in her, and winning a deadline match, the way it's formatted, and this is why it's won me over. Like when Sol Ruka ran in and just started pinning bitches, that's what's awesome. Like, it doesn't hurt them that she just went and pinned 2 people real quick after they've just been duking it out, and she's fresh and just came in the match, starts hitting soul snatchers on people off stairs on the outside and shit. You know what I mean? That's where that match works. And then a Kendall Gray can get a push, but it doesn't diminish anyone else. And then it gets her in the conversation, and you can showcase her work while still keeping people strong like Jordan Grace and shit, you know? Deadline's a great match, a great concept that I was the biggest hater on when it was first the thing. I don't know if I was potting. Like, how old is the deadline? Like 5 years now or what? Whatever. It doesn't matter. So this match I was looking forward to. Tatum Paxley just does great work, and we're going to see just slapping him in the back of the head. And we're going to see how everything plays out with the men's deadline match as well. So we'll keep eyes on this. We got to talk about this pressing AEW drama, though. Tony Khan being exposed. And we're going to get into this. I'm just real locked in for Mr. Iguana. So we're going to we're going to do that, and then we're going to break this all down. Absolutely. Spit that knowledge, Phil. Legacy Media's public enemy number 1. Public enemy number 1. They are the biggest reason for the division in the company, in this country. Yeah, dude. Absolutely, man. It's in America, like from an outsider looking in. Yeah, dude. It's very polarizing, and it's very fucking divisive, and it's very stagey and for show, and it's very like outrageous. Like, it's just outrageous, and it's just. And I mean, in Canada, bro, our news and shit is all owned by the government and stuff, you know? But like, I don't know, like our politicians will go in parliament and just call each other out and talk shit face to face. Like your politicians are like ducking debates and shit, you know? It's like, he won't debate me. He knows. What was he calling Joe Biden? Snoozy, Sleepy Joe or whatever won't debate me. Like, you guys get all this shit like that. In Canada, it's like the prime minister goes and like answers for his shit right to the opposing party, like right there. They meet it like in parliament. It's more European in that aspect. So I'm not saying like it's any better or worse anywhere you live, right? Like, all politicians are just like actors now, it seems like, you know, they're all just like theater kids who are like fucking the Illuminati. They handpick them, you know, it's all a show. Like Shakespeare said, the whole world's a stage, you know. Whatever, like, I'm not saying it's better anywhere else, but yeah, it just seems so polarized. Like Canadian news isn't like Trump watch. Like, South Park does the best, like Fox and news, like that intense fucking breaking news. It's like TMZ, National Enquirer type shit. Like, our news doesn't really do that, you know, but some people I'm sure will claim it's biased one way or the other. I don't fucking know, but so it's everywhere, right? But yeah, I agree. Just legacy media in general. It's not a right or left thing. It's not like a political. It's just the legacy media in general has, and everything's owned by everything. We're talking about it right now with Netflix and WB. 3 companies own like every fucking thing everyone consumes. Like on whatever, on social media, online, on fucking on TV, on cable, on network, on streaming. It's like fucking 3 companies own everything or whatever. You know, it's Alex Jones. Like, you know, it's just crazy. It's like, if you want to be conspiratorial or blame anything, it's like, come on, man. That's a monopoly. It's just 3 monopolies going on. Everyone fears like the singular monopoly. Nah, dude. It is a monopoly going on. So again, whatever. This is a whole subject for another thing. But it is scary that Netflix is buying WB. It's crazy how everything's just getting bought up by everything else, you know. But again, though, when Disney bought up everything, we all got over it, guys. We'll be okay. This isn't the end of the world. And at the end of the day, like, AEW will be fine. Tony Khan's a billionaire. Like, don't lose sleep over fucking what's going to happen at Dynamite. You know what I mean? Like, It'll be fine. Tony's fine. All these fucking wrestlers he made rich who brag about all the money they're milking off this guy and how little they have to work for it, they'll all be fine. Right? So there you go. Paige, I like that. I do like the finish. I like how Mr. Iguana is this like he's like a middle guy. They don't push him too overly serious in AAA or NXT or anything like that. And just a simple twisted grin. It was just like a fun match for Ego, who's like talking shit about AAA and has one half of their titles. And I love it. And it's just crossing over like, hey, we have AAA. They've done such a good job of like, we own this AAA thing in Mexico. Here's some of our acts, Dr. Wagner Jr. You know, Ego Page is like the fucking AAA killer right now. And Iguana didn't like egregiously botch. Like, I'm sorry, once a match he egregiously botches. So what did they do? They had a moment where he accidentally drops Leyeska and then Page just DDTs him. And it was a planned spot. Brilliant. Brilliant. So round of applause for that match. Let's get into the Sarah stock. Let's get into the fucking accusation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, everything I'm about to read in this next segment, fucking other people are saying these are accusations made by other people. This is all fucking South Park, right? This is, speaking of South Park, this is fucking, I don't know shit. We're just reading what people are saying. Okay, we're reading accusations levied against people. I don't know what Tony Khan's going to do about all this. I don't know. But Sarah Stock, who used to work in AEW, used to work in WWE as well. She just started melting down about AEW. And a lot of people are accusing her of like, hey, you just bought your blue check and now you're just talking mad shit. Like they're accusing it of kind of being like the David Otunga thing, which it's hard to get monetized on X. Like now, if you bought the blue check, like right when it was a thing, a bunch of people got monetized quick to where you can subscribe to their shit. For myself, I don't have nearly enough. You have to have 2,000, I think, blue check mark people follow you back minimum as well, on top of like 5 million impressions over 3 months or something like that. So like myself, I pay the blue check every month. I don't make any fucking money off it. I haven't, which maybe that's an L for me. I don't know. In the beginning, I told you guys I did not want the blue check, but then like they added the folder feature, and in testing it, dude, it does get you more interaction. Like, and the features are better, you know, like other blue checks can DM me, which has happened a bunch. And and I can DM blue checks or whatever. So, I mean, it's beneficial for like, if you're trying to promote something for sure. So I just look at it as like, I guess it's a $10 marketing expense for me every month. I can live with that, you know, but I'm not monetized. I can't get it, dude. Like it's hard as fuck. And not that I'm putting grift posts out to get there, but every like once a month, I'll just look at where I'm at. And like, sometimes I'll have the right amount of impressions, but at no point will I ever feel like I'll ever get the 2,000 fucking, I only have 3,000 followers. So I'm going to get 2,000 blue check followers. Like that's fucking never going to happen. So it is what it is. But Sarah Stock, though, gets her blue check after a bunch of her tweets blown up about her criticizing and calling out AEW and shit. And so now people are accusing her of like grifting right now. That's why she's having this Melty, is to try and get those impressions, try and get those followers up. Who knows? Maybe Sarah Stock has 2,000 blue check followers because she was in the wrestling biz. Do 2,000 people in the entertainment / wrestling biz have fucking blue checks that follow her? I don't fucking know. But the point I'm getting at is that we can't dismiss that could be a possibility. She could be grifting hard here, okay? Like, honestly, she could be, and I'm just going to put that out on Front Street. I'm not dismissing the notion that she could just be talking a bunch of shit, okay? And I will hit a sicko here because this is like half a sicko segment, kind of. like the original Sarah Stock meltdown was in the Sicko segment, and then now it's like just part of AEW news because it's evoked so much wrestler responses and whatnot, and just fucking accusations and shit, like I said. So and it pertains to women talent and luchadors. Now, famously here on PWT, your boy Phil, I've said a billion times, like, yo, Tony doesn't know how to book luchadors or women. Now, just because I've accused him of not being able to book luchadors or women well, I don't know. I'm not about to sit here and say he doesn't treat them as human beings well. Okay. It is interesting that Ray Phoenix, a luchador, said at one point that Tony Khan treated him inhumanely, and then Sickos had a field day with that. But Sarah Stock is using the same vernacular. She's like, they treat women and luchas inhumanely there. And she starts accusing Amanda Huber of shit and being very nasty towards her. So even though that beef is done, like Amanda Huber's like, yo, I'm done with this beef and let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Which is like, I think the right thing to do. When someone starts like sicko spurging on you, you just like, you just don't address it. You just fucking just block and move on, dude, or whatever the fuck. Just mute that convo and move. Like, why carry it out? It's just like a bitch fit in public that doesn't need to be public, So either way, I don't even know where to start with this because it's all over the goddamn place. But let's start with the Amanda Huber stuff. Okay, so Tiffany Neves posted, you couldn't get to the bag with this shirt, right? And people it's like a thirst trap shirt or bag or sorry, no, it's a bag. Duh, dummy. So Sarah Stock goes fire. No wonder hysterical Huber tried to keep this 10 far away from her man. And it's like, whoa, buddy, that's a crazy thing. You're like evoking Brody Lee and shit in this now. Like, what the fuck? What are you insinuating here? Tiffany, if you ever felt strangely unwelcomed at AEW, it's not you, I promise. TK and everyone else should ignore the notes. Support Tiffany Neves. She's a pro. So just like dragging Tiffany Neves into this somehow and spreading a fucking rumor that she was unwelcomed and tried to hit on Brody Lee. Like, what are you saying? What does that even really mean? So it's like, okay. And more about this. So, because people bring up like HR department and shit. And so, Amanda isn't a part of the women's division. She's an office employee. So taking more shots at Amanda Huber. So, this guy's like, what happened here? Seems like a big problem. And then she goes, you could call it the tip of the iceberg. Amanda isn't part of the women's division. She's an office employee, which is fine. And it's like, yeah, obviously she's not in the women's division. It's just a funny thing to like pwn someone and correct them on like a sicko. But at the same time, it's like, she's carrying this thing on. She's obviously mad at Amanda Huber, but basically the tip of the iceberg, implying that there's an iceberg of women who've been buried because they're hot or some shit at AEW. So that's sort of what comes to light here. And so Top Tier Tiara says the score will never be even and posts this picture here. And everyone's like, she's stunning and shit. She's so gorgeous. And then Sarah Stock says, oof, another one falls victim to the hands of hysterical Huber. Tiara, if you've ever, because this is the AEW photo shoot background, is it not? Like, I'm pretty sure that's where you get your picture taken in front of that type of screen in AEW. If you've ever felt sidelined at AEW, it's not you, I promise. Anytime I worked with Tiara, she delivered happily and skillfully. Support her. Are we seeing a pattern? So she's trying to point out, like, if you're a hot girl and you're in AEW, you get fucking buried by Amanda Huber? Like, what? Is that what you're saying? Like, doesn't she run AEW Heels or whatever the fuck? Or isn't she a part of that? Like, why would she be worried? So then what about all the hotties that are on AEW that get through regardless of that? What about like Sky Blue and Anna Jay and fucking all these girls? Like, Yumina Shirakawa and Tony Storm, like, name them. They're all fucking lookers. What about all of them as well? You know, like, I just think this is unfounded a little bit. I'm not gonna lie here. Just like accusing, like placing Amanda Huber on, like, is she in control of the women's? I'm not willing to dismiss the notion that people get in Tony Khan's ear. So is it a thing where Huber maybe doesn't like these girls' personalities? Why would it be based on looks? You know what I mean? I just don't think that's it, but maybe she doesn't like them, and then she's in Tony's ear, and like, I'd be willing to entertain a conspiracy like that. But as far as like, oh, do you notice hot women get buried? It's like, what do you mean? Their whole roster's full of baddies, dude. I don't even in Ring of Honor, dude. All these wrestler chicks are bad these days, man. I don't know what the fuck. It's like, I don't know about that. I would place it more, if there is any smoke to that fire, maybe it's just like they rub her the wrong way or something. And then Sarah Stock starts going off about HR complaints and starts defending the women and whatnot. So basically what happens is Sarah Stock goes, oops, forgot to tag them. It's the real Manzo. Or she goes, I'm calling out corruption. Hi, Karen, Fibber, Bibber, and Chris Nada Manzione. Sleep tight. Okay, and that's in response to the iceberg. And she says, oops, forgot to tag them. It's the real Manzio. No, Grok, go away. And I can't find Karen's handle. Probably disappeared publicly out of embarrassment for her grand flop of a greatest accomplishment in AEW, renaming human resources to people and culture. You go, girl, earn that paycheck. People and culture. So no, AEW does not have an HR department. So just saying, like, yeah, that doesn't exist. They call it people and culture. That's funny. And then she quote tweets herself and goes, only a small specialized niche of professionals will understand how disastrous this is, but AEW doesn't have production meetings either. Poor Mansuri, pro of pros, trying to get a minimum of 2 live shows each week on the air with the next to zero information and a whole roster and staff even more in the dark as 8 p.m. Wednesday hits. Yeah, I mean, that's well documented. They do not have fucking production meetings, okay? That's well documented. She says, if you're on the AEW staff or roster and consulting Manzione, I'd suggest stopping immediately. No way I should know who visits Nada Manzione. Nada Manzione. And I certainly shouldn't know more about your issues than you do. Issues is an interesting word. Per issue is a unique way to charge talent and define a whole person. How many mental health issues are the accepted number of issues for pro wrestlers again? What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Guys, 230 watching. There's 100 watching on X, the rest on youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Run the likes up to 100. Don't be stingy. We've been cooking on tonight's show. So this guy says, does the HR department also set up the ring and catering? Sarah Stock goes, there's no HR department at AEW. There's a clueless puppet named Karen from Not HR. Karen. Oh, shit, she's a Karen who refuses to put anything in writing and spits out PC corporate lines like a bot. Now, this is the other thing. Everybody shits on WWE. It's just corporate jargon. Bro, that's everywhere in every business. In AEW, the wrestlers know this. They get corporate jargon run around, last-minute texts, no communication. Like, trust me, man, this has been well documented by so many people, okay? So I believe this part. Only Manzione has a use for her. He uses her as a shield to hide, just like Not Man would. In fact, I'm still waiting for my notice, Karen. As far as I know, I'm still employed. Paychecks have been late. When do benefits end? So there she's just taking a shot at the dirt sheets, saying, like, you know, the rumors are whatever the fuck. You know, we went over all that. The rumors are like she was released, and she's like, I was never released, or whatever. So again, Sarah Stock goes, she doesn't need to say a word, and she can't right now. Regardless, no te preocupes, Steph. Yo vi todo. I'm going to butcher this one. Hiciste lo correcto. Yesist no correcto. Sorry, I'm butchering that fucking word for sure. But basically, that's in response to herself again, because she brought up how Stephanie Vaquer was like left at a fucking airport and all this shit. So here's the tweet. She tweeted this out. Edge gets picked up from the airport every time. And this is the same thing with the CM Punk thing, where people are like, oh, he cries because baby didn't get picked up from the airport in London, didn't get people to pick him up. Grown man can't find his way to a building. It's like, no, dumb fuck Redax. They left him at the airport. He's a fucking famous guy. Like, he's the guy drawing their house. He's their fucking biggest draw in their whole show. He had the best match of their whole show. Can't leave him at the airport. The Bucks wouldn't get left at the airport by their fucking friend and shit. So Edge gets picked up from the airport every time. Orange Cassidy gets picked up from the airport every time. What is Orange Cassidy drawn? He's not a draw. That's what I mean. As do innumerable other talent, able-bodied males, all of them who can't fucking draw either, who don't draw. So I'm with Sarah Stock on this part, okay? Overall, she's having a crazy-ass melty online. I'm right there with everybody in line with that. But as far as this is so true. The guy who literally takes pictures of himself picking up the talent from airports and shit is a Young Buck stand. He's one of their best friends. And his Twitter account, which disappeared, I'm pretty sure, he tweets out like Young Buck, stand in Young Buck, #1 young. Like it's crazy. Okay. As crazy as Tatum Paxley. So not Vaquer, though, not Zeusis, not Catalina, not any of the other foreign females coming to AEW for the first time. So she's claiming that whenever they brought these luchadoras in to come make Mercedes Moné look like $100 million bucks, to make Monet look like money, they all get left at airports too. Now, the communication around travel has been a fucking documented talking point as well among wrestlers who used to work there, all this shit. So it's not a coincidence. This keeps coming up time and time again, chat. Okay. And I don't know if all these people were left there. I'm not saying it's 100% true, but if that is true, Tony, what the fuck do you have against luchadors? Why do you book them like shit? And why the fuck don't you care about them getting picked up at airports? And why can't like CM Punk get picked up at the airport and shit? It's crazy, bro. When does Tony Khan go, dude, I'm fucking up. Hey, Travel, can we get on point? So imagine this. You're a young female wrestler arriving at an enormous airport in a foreign country. You reach out for direction. You're told you don't get any. There's nobody coming to pick you up. Figure it out. Navigate the foreign country, language, transportation, and find your way into the backstage area of a major event. Wonder if AEW women are told to figure it out when they land in Mexico. And that's just it. Do you think the AEW women who go to Mexico, do you think they're just told to figure it out? So how did she find her way backstage? Were they anticipating her? No one's answering her. All I'm assuming is Stephanie Vaquer gets left at an airport and no one's answering her. And look, Stephanie Vaquer fucking liked the tweet. She liked the fucking...
Best guys, Tony Khan.
And then some people are accusing Sarah Stock. They're like, oh, so she liked one of your old tweets and you screen grabbed it and then you fucking are pretending it's this tweet. Now that's that's too much. Wrestlers, now that likes aren't visible, I know from my own account, wrestlers like fucking tweets you wouldn't expect, okay? And not everyone's going to show every tweet that every fucking wrestler likes, okay? Let's just be honest about that. And she liked this tweet, man. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt of that. Like, this lady's having a melty posting screen grabs and shit. Why wouldn't this have been the tweet she liked? You know, wrestlers in WWE have liked tweets criticizing WWE or AEW in both a bunch of times already. So why would this be any different? I'll give her the benefit of the doubt that she liked one of these fucking tweets. Probably this one about all the ladies here. And I guarantee you when Megan Bain goes to Mexico, they're not like, find your way to the fucking thing. Or maybe they do with her. I don't know. But this is obviously an issue if it's been brought up by people who work there. Regardless if he thinks Sarah Stock's just being a dumb drunk bitch or not, I mean, there's enough smoke bellowing from this. I think I see a flame. I think we followed the smoke trail and we see some fire. And at this point now, her calling the guy like no man's zone. I don't even know who the fuck she's talking about. I have no clue. So all of that could be the tip of the iceberg. That sounds conspiratorial, literally, So Sarah Stock writes example of an AEW HR investigation. And this is why like the boys and Kevin Kelly feel the need to sue. Again, why did they sue and team up on their lawsuit? I believe it's because they both viewed it as I think they should have stayed separate. I'm not a lawyer though. So maybe someone who knows law could come on this show and be like, you're dumb. Shut the fuck up. This doesn't make sense. Like, they should have sued together or whatever. But I think the boys and Kevin Kelly should have stayed separate in their situation. But I think they both parties viewed their shit as like an HR problem. And again, we're hearing about HR problems. And again, with the Punk thing, we're hearing about HR problems or people and culture, or whatever the fuck they call it over there. So an example of an AEW HR investigation. An incident went down between a member of staff and talent backstage. I witnessed it all. Was among the first on the scene. Well, what was the incident? I stayed with the staff member while somebody else directed talent away to defuse the situation. Throughout the entire investigation, I was never once asked what happened. If manager of talent relations, me, was there for it all, why was I not consulted? Who knows? Investigation's over. Now, do you guys take her word for that? You know what I mean? Like, she was there as manager of talent relations. An incident happened between a staff and a talent. She was the first on the scene. She waited there until whatever. Oh, no, we got Danielson Hey, we got Danielson on the case. And the Hardley boys, fucking Matt and Nick Jackson, are going to go banging on doors. Like, is that what happened? Like, how do they not ask her at all in this investigation? And that's what was bullshit with the CM Punk situation, where they're like, oh, we put together a crack team of investigators to look into this, but it's their own team. So they found it was enough to where Punk should be fired and Tony Khan feared for his life and blah, 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 whatever the fuck. It's like, well, yeah, you get your friends and the people you're paying. Of course they're going to say that. Like, I don't know, man. It just seems shady and shit. And she's just saying stuff like we've already heard stories like this already, other instances. So like, come on, man, unless she's making this all up and it just lines up, and maybe she is that calculated. Maybe she is so indelibly calculated. She's like, I'm going to hit on every major accusation that AEW's had levied towards them about HR, travel, luchadors, women, fucking, yeah, I already said travel. We'll say travel again. What was the other one? There was something else. I can't remember, but either way, she's just hitting on every beat of like every accusation they've had. Maybe she was just that calculated and knew to add smoke. She's just adding smoke. She's not like, oh yeah, in that Punk incident, I was the first on the scene and I blah, blah. She's saying like, there's this other incident where I was first on the scene and whatever. It's like, I don't know, man. Maybe she's just making it all up. Maybe she was just super calculated and like, I'm going to drum up the shit and just add fucking fuel to every little fire that's around. Or maybe these are real problems we keep hearing about from people over and over again. Crazy Bitch, CM Punk, the Tate twins, whatever, like all the wrestlers, Big Swole, Kevin Kelly, like everybody, they're all just like making up along the lines of the same criticisms of AEW. Even like a guy like Jose the Assistant, he hasn't completely buried AEW by any means, but he's stood up and been like, man, the fucking luchas, like, we had shit cooking this way, they should do this, man. I thought, you know what I mean? Like, they ain't booking these guys correctly. Even people just coming out and not even trashing them, but just pointing things like this out. Like, I don't know, man. It just seems like it's the same 5 things we're hearing about constantly. It's not like there's just new made up, oh, Tony Khan's worked with that priest's kid who had people chained up in his base. Like, people aren't like accusing him of crazy ass shit. It's just like the same things in different ways keep coming to light. You guys know what I'm saying? So Sarah Stock we already read this one. She says it's nipped in the bud before TK gets a chance to lay eyes on them. So she's claiming like whenever there's a problem that goes to HR, gets investigated, people and culture, it gets nipped before Tony Khan even has a chance to even really talk about it. Like people are just shielding him, or he set it up like, I don't want to hear about the problems. Everybody else deal with the problems. I'm going to just book the show and be creative and take responsibility for all of the fun shit, but all like the ratings going down, wrestlers being disgruntled, paying people too much, all the business shit. I'm just going to skirt accountability. And so Sarah Stock says, here's how Kosherby and AEW took care of Mexican talent to save money on the flight home between Dynamite and Collision. They'd fly in Mexican talent on Tuesday and keep them in the country until Sunday. No per diem, no food allowance. And only 1 day a week at home with their family. I was furious when I found out. I addressed the insanity and immorality of that with Kosha, but then I'd have to do it for everyone. And a lot of people don't realize, like in AEW, when you're on salary, you're making 6 figures or more. That means you're getting at least 100,000 or more. So everyone there's just trying to get on salary. And when you get that graphic, an official graphic, is to me, that's indicated in the past. That's when you're on salary. I don't know. Maybe some people, but like the grizzled young vets, they got a graphic and shit. So maybe they are. I don't know. All I'm saying is this. All the other people, this is why you hear stories about like that Slim J guy. He's like, dude, I'm broke and I can't afford shit. Because you sign with Tony Khan where it's like exclusive, and he does give you a decent chunk of change, but then he can dictate where you work, and it's only if he books you. So he's got that Slim J guy, for instance, signed to like an exclusive with him where he shows up to work and he gets paid a certain amount, but Tony like used him for a little bit, then that team just like disappeared or whatever. So he's not getting booked in Ring of Honor or Collision or whatever the fuck. So he's not getting paid at all. And meanwhile, he can't go explore this option or that option. It's very Tony McConish, and this is the cutting of corners. Oh, this is the cutting corners. You know, this is the like hiring high school workers instead of just like having a production team who carry your cameras, having a stew, like someone who's worked there since day one, knows exactly what we need from the product. Or maybe you bring new people in who knows exactly what you need with the product. He'll hire high school workers and he nickels and dimes talent. And this is true. And we've seen it with the production costs. We're making $500 million. Well, your stage setups and shit don't look like it. Where's all that fucking money gone into? Just people's fucking salaries and shit. Bunch of people fucking around, not making people money, bragging online. Oh, they're just jealous that we get paid more than ever and we fucking work less. Well, you guys aren't drawing. No one's making money. Like you guys are making money, but how much money's Tony made? Well, he doesn't care about money. He's a billionaire. Well, that's fucked up and lame. That's lame as shit. You know what I mean? So it's a billionaire's vanity project. Okay. So then why are you mad? You know, like, so we're right about all this shit, all these criticisms. Now, I don't know if that's how Kosha Araby. I'm not saying this is true either. I'm Phil Marks. This is South Park. Okay. This is South Marks. This isn't even fucking real. This is all a dream we're having, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is true, but she's saying it. Maybe she's just trying to get her blue check money in time for Christmas. I don't fucking know. But then she goes on to say, like, Doc Sampson is a good guy as head of team medical. He's responsible for the health of AEW talent, both physical and mental. Just jump on here, Doc Sampson, and clarify what this app is about. Damn, I follow Doc Sampson. In a crisis, talent give the same info to 3 different people, and they book you an appointment 3 months from now. Still trying to figure out how that's an improvement over a staff of highly qualified mental health professionals who are available 24/7. Almost seems like a cheaper way to do things. What do you guys do with the extra money? And I agree. So they're saying like one of these wrestlers got hurt on one of these shows, one of these AEW wrestlers, and they're saying like he has an appointment 3 months out. And it's like, bro, 3 months out in WWE, the medical's right fucking there on hand. I'm not saying they don't have medical personnel on hand at AEW shows, but when it's a serious, like a concussion, a leg's blown out or some shit, they don't have Seth waiting 3 months or whatever the fuck. And that news came out, or someone said it, like he'll get checked up in the next 3 months, or like whatever the fuck they said. And that was crazy. I think that's what Sarah Stock's talking about here as well. Like, that's nutty. 3 months, you got to wait. I don't know, man. So, Ricochet had this to say, like, you know, this was posted by Wrestling Observer. Former AEW coach says corruption and negligence are running unchecked at company. And then Ricochet pipes in and goes, "No, we just didn't like you." And it's like, dude, were you even there? I don't even know if Ricochet was there. He's the biggest nutsucker, finger bumhole poker there is, dude. It just is what it is. And Sarah Stock goes, "We've gotten official word from AEW regarding inhumane treatment towards Mexicans and the firing of the entire mental health department. Thank you for your response. We appreciate knowing AEW's take on the allegations." And if they did fire all of the mental health people on staff, which, like, how many of those do you need? But if they did fire them all and then they do this, like, to downsize, this all just looks like AEW's downsizing and shit, if that's true. You know what I mean? Everything they're doing seems like downsizing. I don't know. Just like fucking The Observer, dude. Fire sales, 50% off sales every month all year. Like, it just seems like downsizing to me. And I quote tweeted Ricochet's thing, "No, we just don't like you." I quote tweeted it. I was like, "Wrestling fans to AEW." Because it's all the cope in the world. It's better. It's fucking, the Fed, all this shit. And it's like, nah, people just don't like AEW anymore. Just accept that part, you know? So Sarah Stock, though, is like, "We've gotten official word from AEW regarding inhumane treatment," just kind of making a joke. But people were like, "You're saying the same thing. You're just repeating what Ray Phoenix said." And then she claimed, she's like, "I didn't fucking know that Phoenix said that, but there you go. Interesting. He chose the same words." Either she's way too calculated and she knew to hit on every single beat that people have been talking about over the last, like, 3 years of AEW. Like, the only thing she hasn't brought up was NDAs and Kylie Ray, for fuck's sakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing she hasn't brought up. And otherwise, she's hit every single beat. Is it a coincidence, or was she just, like, super calculated in how she was gonna, on each topic she was gonna melt down on? I don't know. I leave that up to y'all's interpretation. Chat, you tell me. Commenters below, tell me. You're smarter than I am. But you know, Kip Sabian responded to this and just said, "Balls to it. Feel free to melt down online, as it's the only place people seem to do it." It's so true. A lot of this messy shit, like, doesn't need to be online. But then again, if you think you're fighting for the right cause, you want to take it to a public forum. Like, how else are you supposed to have your voice heard, man? Freedom of speech. Like, I get it. I get why people take to social media. They want to feel like people can instantly gratify them or remedy them or, like, satisfy them with agreeance or whatever. Agreeance. Is that a word? Agreeance? I don't know. I might have just made that up. But either way, Kip Sabian's like, don't act like you're speaking for the roster. And that's the one thing I agree with Sabian with Kip on, for sure. Like, she just drug a bunch of random women into this. Tiffany Neves. The fuck is she even in AEW? You know, like, I thought she was in NWA or some shit. Or is she in TNA? I fucking forget right now. But, like, God damn it, what, you just bringing her up? Kip Sabian says, "I'll publicly say Chris helped me mentally more than anyone will ever know. Far beyond just wrestling. Act your age, not your shoe size." So a perfectly respectable sticking up for someone who helped him, this Chris Manzione or whatever. And again, I don't even know who the fuck that is, so I'm not agreeing. That's all her claims, man. I'm not putting over what Sarah Stock's saying in that regard whatsoever, but I just want to bring attention to, she hit every fucking beat that since, like, Big Swole leaving the company, people have brought shit up. We get ghosted, travel, health issues, the women being mistreated, luchas being mistreated, no HR, insider investigations, fucking Tony being clueless to everything, no production meetings, like literally hit on everything in like a 24-hour span. So is this her just venting it all, just dumping it all out there? Is she just grifting for money now? And it's like the David Otunga saying he's going to knock John Cena out thing. Should AEW respond to it? You guys let me know. And they pose the same question. Ringside News does. Should they respond to it? And I quote tweeted this and said, no, like the sicko hive mind will just do it for Tony. It's built in. So he's lucky in that regard. But not that Tony needs to duke it out with her online or even say anything. But here's the problem. Tony lets it be known that he'll respond to people for less. He'll try and poach TNA fans and shit, but he can't respond to any of this. That's why he's created, like Triple H just puts out like tweets and he doesn't really respond and talk. So you don't expect it from him or Triple H. With Tony Khan, or like Carlos Silva, he's not like online arguing with fucking people or like responding to certain fans and then about music and then not responding to other people, right? Tony Khan's like in the mix, marking out over wrestling with people and shit. So he's seeing this all. And he's just not addressing any of it. And I mean, he doesn't need to, but that's why there's that expectation, because we see him online and shit. That's all it is, right? And so that, ladies and gentlemen, was I guess sicko segment / as Tony
The best
Khan
guys, Tony Khan.
And actually, one thing we did miss one thing so everybody got sent this email. And it was sent out to customers this morning with the subject, welcoming Warner Bros. To Netflix. I accidentally skipped over this because I wanted to circle back to it, then I forgot. But we recently announced that Netflix, this was from Netflix. This was an email everybody got about Warner Bros. We recently announced that Netflix will acquire Warner Bros., including its film and television studios, HBO Max and HBO. This unites our leading entertainment service with Warner Bros.'s iconic stories, bringing some of the world's most beloved franchises like Harry Potter, Friends, The Big Bang Theory. So look, no AEW, ain't no fucking AEW mentioned in any of this shit. And they're already hyping up Harry Potter. What? Friends. What? The Big Bang Theory. What? Casablanca. What? Game of Thrones. And the DC Universe. Boom. And yeah, James Gunn was talking about it. Like they got or I think he was talking, unless people misquoted him. People misquote that motherfucker so much, dude. But speaking of responding to people, James Gunn will flat out respond to motherfuckers. But DCU and just DC in general. So does Netflix own like DC Comics and shit? It's also interesting. But they'll be together with Stranger Things, Wednesday, Squid Game, Bridgerton. Look out for those like Stranger Things comic books being published under DC and shit, if that happens. Wednesday, Squid Game. So, how long until the fucking Wednesday Casablanca crossover? No, the K-pop Demon Hunter Big Bang Theory crossover. No, but they're not talking about AEW. And if AEW was doing numbers like 500,000, they'd be in the top 10 of like it, or they'd at least like touch 10. They'd at least be like number 10 on Max here and there. Like it would have happened once by now. And the Netflix would be like, yo, 500,000 watch live on Max of this show. Like that'd be gangbusters for them for a live thing. They'd be hyped on AEW. They're not hyped on it, bro. They didn't bring it up in this thing. So what's changing? Nothing is changing today. Both streaming services will continue to operate separately. We have more steps to complete before the deal is closed, including regulatory and shareholder approvals. You'll hear from us when we have more to share. In the meantime, we hope you'll continue to enjoy watching as much as you want, whenever you want, all on your current membership plan. We know you might have questions. Check out the Help Center for more. Thank you for choosing Netflix. We're committed to bringing you more great TV shows, movies, games, and live programming. And so my wife dummied me up too. she explained to me, because I'm always on this show. I'm like, I don't know like what we pay for, right? Like I just fucking, here's the card. Take care of this, hon. So it's like Netflix, it just comes out monthly, whatever. So she told me, like, we pay for the top shit so we don't get ads. So when WWE feeds us ads, it's kind of like, oh, now I'm a little more like, what the fuck? Here's the thing. I'd rather watch ads for like soon to be Big Bang Theory and Friends and shit. I'll be there for you. And I'd rather watch ads for that shit though than like the music they play during the commercials during WWE. Boo, boo, boo. Even if I pay for no ads, I'd rather see ads for like WWE action figures than fucking Obafemi like flexing and shit with this music playing in the background. That's just me personally, but yeah, man. So that concludes our breakdown of everything Netflix and WBD. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. That was fucking amazing. We have a massive turnout tonight, guys. 230 people watching across X and YouTube. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Dude, the last live show was crazy. It was at like 2.3K fucking unique viewers just on the YouTube. I couldn't believe it. It was a crazy fucking turnout. You guys rule. PWT Universe fucking clears, okay? So shout you all out. Round of applause for all of you guys for tuning in and hanging out. I know you guys like when I'm calling the action and reacting to a lot of the stuff. I had to take this Saturday to do news and go through all this craziness. Deadline for me has been pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to rewatch the women's Deadline match one time for sure. Everything else, I think I've gotten the gist. Tatum Paxley's up $1 billion. She took the loss. She's so fucking good, man. And her offense is so unique. She takes things that we've seen a million times before and just puts her own little spin on it. And it's not even like making it more dangerous or anything. It's just like a front drop kick. She does a front flip into it. It's just, it's just little things like that where you're like, fuck, man, she rules. Everything about her, the way she conveys her facial emotion, all of that shit. I loved it. So that match, a lot of people are going to be mad. They're going to be like, oh, are they burying Paxley and shit? None of that. Okay. None of that. So let me see here. And you don't need to pay $14.99 for it. Good. Exactly, bro. This shit rules. But if you want to pay 99 cents like Lucy Moody or upgrade, I think Lucy was already a member, no? Or upgrade your membership. That's cool too. But 99 cents, I do a bonus show every week. Or if you're a patron, there's tons of exclusive content and you get access to the member shows as well. So thank you, Lucy Moody, for becoming a member again. I swear you were one.
Oh, come on now, Eric.
Maybe at the other channel or whatever. I don't know, but I appreciate you so goddamn much. And so we're going to lock in for this Deadline match. And I thought this has been a brilliant show. I feel like I was cooking. All of those segments were cooking tonight. And I think chat's cooking. I love you all. Appreciate you all. Sarah Stock, by the way, wasn't lying if Tony Khan didn't respond because she told the truth. No, I don't think that necessarily means that. Did Phil show the TK Stranger Things cameo? No, I didn't. Oh, yeah. See, I forgot to fucking... Thank you for reminding me. I forgot to... let me see. Let me see here. Neo Zerg became a new member right there. Holy shit. Thank you. We acknowledge you. Yeah, I got a funny clip here. God damn. Thank you so much for your membership, dude. That means so much. And yeah, every Monday, enjoy your access. I do Member Monday. Those are fucking amazing shows. And also sometimes we just watch Raw, and sometimes we do some cool segments that are kind of exclusive to the member show. So I don't know. Check it out. Those are so fun. I have so much fun with those. Let me find that clip. I know that you sent it to me. But bro, I was dealing with so much shit with that fucking strike from the Observer on my channel and shit. So check out Patreon, become a member. That's who you support, okay? Because I'm getting fucking flagged down from Redax here. Don't even know how to use YouTube TV. So, okay, I might have to play it on the next goddamn show. If I can't get this. Dude, there's this scientist in Stranger Things. He looks exactly like somebody needs to flag Observer. No, don't. I think that's so lame, false flagging channels. I think that is the lamest shit you could do to someone. Dave should just make videos debunking the shit I say about him. If he, like, for real, if that's how you feel, you know? Or whoever, maybe it was who fucking knows, whatever. It was, maybe it came from an F4W email, so maybe it was like just was some lowly employee. I don't fucking know, but came from WrestlingObserver.com, and I was talking to someone else about it who was like, yeah, we got trolled by Observer. Like someone was like we had something fishy happen, whatever, and then I was like, and then I told them the information, like I shared about everything, and they were like, no, actually, this seems legit. And I was like, yeah, dude. So whatever. I don't want to talk about it more. It's over with. But yeah, I appreciate the support a lot. Okay, that TK clip is coming. I promise you. It will be on the next show. We will play it on Stranger Things. It's too big of a spoiler. It's too big of a spoiler. Okay? But TK, oh my God, Javon. So TK made like an appearance in Stranger Things. It's so funny. This scientist looks exactly like him. Or could I get this right now? Let me just see.
We get a little bit deeper and we talk about maybe Leon Slater. We talked about it in the first half in terms of conditioning. What worries you about these two men have that's going to allow them to hold up for 25 minutes under these conditions? These guys will fall for all caution to the wind, so that means
let's see. I want to wouldn't the email, not the flag. No, I know, Mike Sus. I have your email, dude. I got it with the clip. Did he say watch Collision on HBO Max during his cameo? Wouldn't hold Dave Meltzer did this or Brian? Yeah, I mean, whatever. We're over. What? I've eaten French fries with more charisma and creativity than Ricochet. Yeah. The upside down is great. Let me see if I can't. Yeah, it just, the problem is when I try to play it out of my email, it's like there's a problem playing the clip or whatever. Mike Sauce, just let me figure this out when I'm not when we're not watching this. I will get it. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, no, I just completely forgot. And thanks, people. Like, people have sent me a bunch of shit too, like font, like custom fonts and shit. I appreciate all that, man. Everyone who emails me stuff as well. I just I was going back and forth with YouTube a lot, like the last, honestly, a week, like weeks since that fucking happened. So I'm gonna end the poll in the chat asking you guys, do you think Sarah Stock is legit or whatever? And we can't really put all of the names of who's going to win the deadline match, unfortunately. That's kind of why I wasn't like all over putting polls in the chat. And we had so much to go through. Guys, if you haven't hit like yet on YouTube, hit like as well. Do you think Sarah Stock is right? She's right, 61%. 35% say the best guy's Tony Khan, and then only 4% say she's crazy. Damn. So we will see. I'm not sure who else. Yeah, we can't put all the names in there, so it is what it is. That's so funny. 35% or whatever. The best guy's Tony Khan. Oh man.
To try to earn some decisions. They also have the most time to do damage to themselves, as we're just over 60 seconds away from Miles Bourne entering this matchup at number 3. Oh my! Reaching.
Damn, big chops here. Okay, what am I looking at here? I was looking for something. Yeah, so we'll play that clip on the next show for sure. I just got to figure, it just won't fucking play through my thing. I just got to download and shit. I don't want to do it while StreamYard already glitches out hard enough. I don't want to be downloading shit while I'm fucking, So anyways, appreciate you guys. Keep sending me shit. Appreciate you, Mike Sauce. You're the fucking man. Leon Slater and Javon are just snapping before anybody else comes out here. And yeah, I'm going to do a run-in this week, maybe on Tuesday, just one of the off days I don't stream, so keep a lookout for that. And I am going to, on Sunday, maybe tomorrow I'll pop on, maybe not tomorrow, actually. No, I'm going to chill out tomorrow. I got a lot of editing to do, so I'm going to do that tomorrow. But maybe Tuesday or something, or maybe the member show. Should that be Member Monday? Members in chat right now, should that be Member Monday? Just like an uber sicko segment, and watch Raw, or just one or the other. Let me know if you guys want that, or we can do members and shit. Just Member Monday. So here comes Bourne. Randy Bourneton. Yeah. Should it just be Monday's show? Sure. Yeah, Neo's you're in the mix now, dude. You're in the cut. Let's go. You got to say, dude. Here we fucking go. So yeah, Monday then we'll do become a member. We're doing an uber sicko segment, the last 3 weeks of sicko galore, okay? I think that's what we'll do. Hell yeah. Sounds great. So here we go. Okay, so 11 seconds until Slater's free from the box. We got 6. How many minutes? Sorry. No, this clock counts up. And then how do you guys feel about Dion Lennox being like the one guy who's... Because he's in Dark State, right? Or was he just his own guy? I'm not sure. And guys, I went on my buddy JJ Alexander's pod on the Full Circle Radio Network, and we're doing this thing where like we're watching his old Fed, where like he does commentary. It's a great bit he came up with, and he came across he got his hands on all the old DVDs and tapes from his old, like from Defy Pro Wrestling. Oh my God, Bourne's crazy. Speaking about Defiant, man, and defying. So DPW, man. And they had so like Just Incredible was there at the time. On the last show we watched, Mercedes Monet's ex-husband was the fucking gear. Like he made everyone's gear, right? But before that, he was like the cruiserweight champ at DPW, and he trained with JJ and Just Incredible and all these guys. So we Jocktober his old Fed. We make fun of it. Like I'm on his show, we're watching the old tapes and DVD segments, and we're like making fun of it all. And JJ's like, he does the ring announcing and everything for this Fed, and like I just ask him questions, and we make fun of the shit, and it was a blast. So I don't know when he's dropping that last episode we did, but I'm gonna go on his channel and like do that. I fucking had so much fun doing that. I'm gonna do it like hopefully once a week. We're gonna go over like his old Fed and just make fun of it. So make sure you guys check that out. It's a fun time. Big chops. Everyone's just throwing chops here. Oh, a big right hand. Bourne throws that fucking clean right hand. Yeah, JJ Alexander's in chat with you guys a lot of the times. You know what I mean? Like he comes and says what's up every now and again and just gives his take, but he also has been on this show like a few times. I've gone and done his pod. He's come and done my pod. His co-host Matt has come and done my pod as well. And I'm going to be coming in with a vengeance in 26 with PWT pods as well. The Christmas special is going to be so fun too. I don't even know. I've just been compiling awesome shit for the Christmas special, but I don't actually know like what's the format. The Halloween thing, I rank the Halloween Havoc themes and shit. I don't know. It's crazy because there's not that much. Like, here's the thing. In pro wrestling, there's like all these spooky characters that could apply to Halloween. Like, you could have fun with the Boogeyman, Undertaker, Rosemary, even Paul Bearer, the Boogeyman. There's all these characters that you could have fun with over Halloween. In pro wrestling, it's just like, okay, well, Santa showed up. There was Dismember to Dismember, which was like a Christmassy themed show. I guess there's been like Christmas Raws and SmackDowns. Holiday Hell used to be a thing ECW would do. So like, I'm trying to think, but like their themes aren't iconic. It's not like people even really remember Holiday Hell in comparison to Halloween Havoc, for instance. So it's like, well, I'll figure it out. I always do. And obviously the end of the year show, it's always the same as far as like the predictions and all, and the awards and all of that. But like the one year I did a bit where fucking Santa was invading and I played all the different, here's Santa showing up at different wrestling promotions or whatever. So like, do I do that same bit in just different segments? I don't fucking know. I went over all the good ones. So, yeah, I know. I'll think of something, but yeah, it'll be such a blast. And then we'll give the end of the year awards and the predictions. And the fucking predictions, okay, for 26. December to Dismember was fun. Yeah, dude, it was. It was like the one people infamously hate that event, but looking back on it, it's like, I don't know. I like that idea. I like that idea of like a pay-per-view, but yeah, just ECW ain't around, man. Damn, Slater's so smooth with it, man. And Lincoln Hawkman, me and you triggered a bunch of people too. You came on my fucking you came on my stream to talk Stranger Things over on my other channel, Phil Marks Out, right? And yeah, some people in chat, dude, were fucking triggered because I made a joke poll and stuff, and we simply discussed whether or not Millie Bobby Brown and Noah Schnapp, whatever, can or can't. Like, that's what everybody's making fun of them online. They're like, oh, they can't act and shit. And so I did a stream. We broke down, it's like an hour long. We broke down Stranger Things 5. If you got, it was a load of fun over on my other channel. So, but yeah, we triggered some folk there, Lincoln. It's right here. Here, I'll get you it. Let's see. Here we go. Here, I'll give you the link to. That's his channel right there. And yeah, his co-host has been gone for like, I think he's like just taking a month break or whatever the fuck. So I've been linking up with JJ, and dude, he has such funny stories. Like, we're watching Tough Enough season 1. We're about to start season 2 and shit. And like JJ has story, and we were on with Ed was on with us too. And fuck, man, he has story. Like they know all these wrestlers and shit, man. They've been around, they booked these territories and shit. They've been up and down the roads, or trained with a bunch of people and shit. So it's just good to hear stories from these guys. But on Tough Enough, man, that was so funny. Like hearing JJ stories about Jonathan Coachman and shit over on Patreon. So he's been hanging out with me over there too. It's been pretty funny. But yeah, make sure you check out like that, whatever series I'm doing. I don't even know what he calls it, but I don't even know if he wants me on every episode, but I'm like, dude, I volunteer for every episode of this series. I love this concept. And just like watching this old Fed, and like they had like Vito show up and like fucking Jason Knight and shit. Like they'll have ex-ECW guys like run in on this indie, or we're critiquing like Mercedes Moné's ex's fucking match. I didn't even know he was a wrestler. I was like, dude, I thought he just made gear and shit. And so I guess what happened was, and JJ tells the story on the pod, but like he was making gear for Monet and that, and then he moved down to Florida with her because they were dating or whatever. And he was making gear for quite a few people on the indies, like because his gear was looking so fly. Everyone's like, where'd you get that? And he's like, I fucking made it. And then I guess he just started making gear for like everyone, like Bailey, everyone. Then he's like, well, fuck this. I'm retiring from wrestling. He was like a really good wrestler at one point, dude. I did not know that at all, man.
And again, we saw this earlier. Those that go into the penalty box and being able to come out, I mean, how would you reset into the penalty box? Would it not refocus you? With an advantage for it.
Here we go. Ticker went down. Evans is up 1. Lennox is up 1 already. I believe in Joe Hendry. It's Joe Hendry time, bitch. In Paris, Tokyo, Mexico. I believe in Joe Hendry. Listen to the crowd singing, man, singing his music. We believe, we believe, we believe, we believe. We believe. Yeah, JJ's JJ Alexander. And it's funny too, because like, I don't know, just go watch the pod. He's talking about how they wanted him to look different than the Sinister Minister, and he just looks like the Sinister Minister, and it's fucking hilarious. I was just roasting him for that. It's good shit. It was a great watch along on the last one. No, I didn't talk about Funaki's son. Sorry, I skipped over that. I was just getting into Final Resolution overall. I might have skipped over that, but yeah, Funaki's son in TNA fucking rules. Funaki, number 1 SmackDown, number 1 announcer. Yeah, I got to watch UFC after this as well. I'm just going to start it late. The last pay-per-view of ever, I guess, or at least the next 7 years or whatever for UFC, if you guys are MMA fans. And this just in, Jack Perry replacing Darby Allin in the Continental Classic. And Sarah Stock having more meltdowns. She's like, imagine taking the opinion of QT Marshall over that of Jerry Lynn's. Dragging Jerry Lynn into shit daddy. So it's getting messy, folks. Oh, Hendry just scored a point. Chat, everybody give me your picks too. Who do you guys think is going to win? Even if you're on X or whatever, just like comment or whatever. Retweet this with your pick. I'm asking right now, who's everybody picking? Because we can't put a poll with everyone's names. There's 6 or 5 guys, right? 6 guys, IR math. Right. So we just got to like leave the person we don't think out. People already scored. It's not fair, man. Oh, yeah, the streamer awards are on as well. What a packed Saturday, dude. Everything but AEW. No, I'm sure Collision's on. Whoever's watching that, Lord help you. I don't want to hear any fucking sicko shit. Like, this Deadline show has been really good. Or any wackos, I guess. But again, I need to rewatch. I didn't catch all the women's Deadline shit that I wanted to. I wanted to got eyes on it, but way more locked in for this men's one. Where was I putting this news? WWE news. That's right. 6 minutes to go. 3-way tie at 1. Sports-based. Hashtag sports-based wrestling. Javon, Joe, Hendry, Slater. So this UFC not on Paramount tonight. Yeah, I think so, right? Is it not the last? This is the last like pay-per-view that isn't on Paramount, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, last UFC on pay-per-view. Yeah, because people are joking. Yeah, end of an era tonight. Final UFC on ESPN pay-per-view. Forever proud to have been. This is Ariel Helwani saying this. So yeah, just a lot of people are making memes like last time I'll ever have to use Stream East again and shit like that, which is pretty funny. People clown Dana White for like saying, "Oh, we're gonna arrest as soon as you switch the pay-per-view on. We're gonna get you. We got you. We're waiting outside your house." Like literally saying shit like that about Stream East and shit, and then they just continued to put out put out the pay-per-views and illegally stream them or whatever. And then Dana just went streaming, and I never. So many people were like, Dana will never give up the pay-per-view model ever. And I knew it was going to happen one day. It had to happen one day because it's just streaming's the future. Everyone who knows anything understands that, you know? So yeah, after it's just on Paramount. So I mean, do you guys have Paramount out there? What's going on? Paramount Plus? And in Canada, we do have Paramount Plus. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my wife would fucking correct me on this, way smarter than I think in Canada, I don't know if it's like this in America, hashtag America, but oh, damn, Hendry's getting beat down. But Paramount Plus, you get, if you have Amazon Prime, I think you also get Paramount Plus, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe I have the two mixed up, but one of them comes with another thing or whatever, I think already as well. So super kick. So Bourne pushed Joe out of the way to hit that power slam. Oh, the RKO or the YOG, if you want to call it that. Oh, what's his finisher called? The young OG or the OG cutter? What is it called? I call that shit the YOG when he hits that cutter. I don't give a fuck what anyone else calls it. And so winner gets the shot at New Year's Evil. Here comes the fifth man. Dion Lennox. Oh, and he just threw him in the penalty box with the ref who can unlock it. So now no one can even unlock the box unless they just send another official out there. You guys notice that whenever it's like the craziest, like whenever you got multi-man real convoluted, not that this is like overly convoluted, but whenever it's super chaotic, you notice the ref, I think his name's Rod Zapata or Rod Zapata or whatever. He's always the ref when it's like some wild shit's about to go down. And like they use him in AAA a lot too. It doesn't come with Amazon Plus, but it's only $2. Okay, so with Amazon Plus, what you're saying, Northern DC, is that Amazon Plus, if you get that, then for an extra $2 you get Paramount Plus, or what? Is it Amazon? Because I have a few of these, but I've also canceled a couple of these fucking things. There's too many streamers now. I was just getting them all before, and then it's like, okay, what are we doing here, dude? Like, what do I really watch on half these fucking things, you know? And then there's like a bunch of free ones now too that have a bunch of content, and they just run quick. Like you just got to sit through like the 1 minute ads, like on YouTube. It's like, whatever. Oh, dude, when Slater hits that, he just hits that move like nothing. Oh my God, Hendry getting Hurricane Rana'd over. Oh, Lennox just into Joseph, just took a boot to the face. Javon with the pin with 1 second left. Javon barely eked it out. Brian's like, oh, why haven't they pushed him yet? Meanwhile, we're getting Evans versus Obafemi 2. Or a triple threat if Ricky Saints doesn't get called up and he wants to lay, you know. We know Evans and Femi can work. Evans could get the win over Femi finally, and then Femi could get called up. Like, there's a master plan here. And any of these guys could have won. Joe Hendry looks devastated. He's just devastated. They all gave it their absolute all. Four flutes. The timing on that was expert. That's because that Rod Zapata guy, too. I'm telling you. No, it's the wrestlers. It's on the wrestlers, but. Look at that leap off the penalty box, dude. Craziness. The YOG. He gets so much air on that shit. And then Miles Bourne hitting like zigzags off dudes. Or off the ropes. Off dudes. Pause. And everyone showed urgency. Roll up from Javon. Javon getting the title shot against Obafemi at New Year's Evil. Yeah, just one-on-one. Chat, what do you guys grade NXT Deadline? I give this event a solid like A-. I want to rewatch the girls' match. Otherwise, like an A-. I think if you're gonna make it A+ or A, it would need like some like huge shot, like an extra just something to put it up to 5 stars. You know what I mean? Like it would just need an extra umph of like. So I give it an A- as far as like it was pretty well perfect. It's just like, unless like, you know, oh, see, this could make it A+ depending who the fuck this is. What is this? What is this? Who is this? Is it Tony D? And Ava was saying you don't want to miss this. It's Tony D. Is it not? So he's just in NXT as well. This is what I mean, guys. I don't want to hear about call-ups and shit. This is just like in OVW, when the Bashams were in OVW and shit, no one was like, man, they need to get called up already. And they were fucking in their 30s or whatever, you know? It's just like, whatever. They got top guys in NXT. Yeah, I'm sticking at an A-. The crowd didn't really care about it being Tony D. People just we want to see some of these guys on Raw and SmackDown. There's too many top guys in Raw and SmackDown. Like, whose spot does Tony D take? Everyone is like, oh, Carmelo Hayes should be champ. Whose spot does Tony D'Angelo take then if he goes to Raw or SmackDown? You guys know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody you replace for Tony D right now, you know, unless it's one of these guys like Carmelo Hayes or something. So I just stick with my A-. I think they accomplished everything they needed to. A good little return there, setting up the next match. All the matches were on point. I didn't see nothing too egregious. Mr. Iguana was awesome. Ego's always awesome. Yeah, and with the age going up in NXT, they're just and like with guys we care about, Javon, Obafemi, it's a legit third brand. This is a third brand like Raw or SmackDown. You know, they're gonna like the element of like developmental maybe will take place more in Evolve and shit. Maybe NXT still a little bit, but ultimately it's like you could stack up like Tony D, Javon, Ricky Saints, Ego, like, you know, this could stack up against obviously not the top guys in WWE, but like look at the mid card down. So like whose spots are they going to take to try and give fucking Ethan Page a push or whatever, you know, and just let them do their thing. This AAA NXT TNA stuff, it's all blowing up. They're doing incredibly well. So Izzy Dame taking the loss, or Tatum Paxley rather taking the loss. I'm sure a bunch of people are going to get mad about that. I'm sure they're already mad about it online. I'm not mad at that at all. Her character's just her wrestling and her character is why I'm invested in her. I don't need a belt. She doesn't need to have all the wins in the world. And she's never been at this level of like, she's the tippy top of this division as far like, you know, as a shoot, sure, her in ring work and stuff. But like, as far as, all the competitors in the women's division, she's never like, no one's like, oh man, she's going to take out Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace and all that. You know, she's kind of like mid lower. So she got her hands on that title and then it slipped away. And then she's just doing like great storytelling stuff. And that's awesome for her. So I'm not mad at that loss at all, even though I'm fully behind her, like give her everything, you know? Obafemi, I'm not mad at him winning the title either. I'm actually relieved, man. Ricky Saints is like, you want to talk about who should get called up in a push on the main roster and who might translate better with, I think Ricky Saints more so. Like he fits in, he's more believable as a challenger to Rhodes. Like the problem with Obafemi, you call him up and then what? He's got to fight. He's going to destroy everyone when you have Breaker, Braun, Brock, and fucking, you already have a bunch of guys doing that. You know, Bronson Reed and shit. They're all destroyers. Like Obafemi is the destroyer in NXT. When he's gone, who's the destroyer there? You know, Jasper Troy, where the fuck has he been? And I like that they're really giving that Shiloh Hill kid a push. It would have been awesome if they revealed he's NXT Anonymous this whole time. That would have been cool. But anyways, or if they did that and I missed it, I apologize. Again, there's the middle part of that show. I just got to go back and rewatch. But Oba winning the title, I'm not mad at that at all. Honestly, Saints, to me, his run was good. It was what it was, but it's like Ego Page. Like they elevate. They don't need to have the title to be important in NXT. And again, like Saints, you know that Rhodes is high on that dude. And you know, they brought Cargill up to the main roster. I think it's only a matter of time before we see Saints go up there. So I'm actually not mad at that. I'm sure people are melting down. Dion Lennox being the standout of the Dark State, I can get down with that. He looked really good in this match. Everyone in the men's deadline looked so fucking good. And I really like that match. I like the urgency at the end to beat the time. it was a rushed finish. It looked rush, yeah, because it was supposed to. So that was awesome. If they're just doing that on TV because the ref's like, time to go home, okay, what the fuck? But the speed and the urgency, and then just all of the guys selling it in the ring, and even Javon like, oh, I did it. I got him at the last second. Brilliant. That was the chef's kiss. Tony D, the crowd didn't really care. I don't really care. I got to be about him. I think it hits fucking main roster time for that guy a while back. But now that since we've established, fuck all that, I'm going to stop crying about main roster shit. He's just an NXT guy. Okay. It's good that he's back in NXT. I'll say that because it's not like I don't like Tony D, but, some of these gimmicks would be cool to see on the main roster a little bit. I will say that, right? We have like the Wyatt Six and MFTs. How much more can we squeeze out of that? Right? It would be cool if like Tony D put together a new family on the main roster. Capiche? With like maybe Stacks and some other characters. You know what I mean? Is there any other Italians there on the main roster? I'm not sure, but it would be cool if like we had a couple more factions that could get in the mix, because you see the MFTs on SmackDown, they're getting ran off by the White Six, and it's like, well, one of the White Six is a chick and you guys outnumber them. Like, you know, fucking realistically, you do have the numbers game. I know that one's a girl, but like Tala Tonga could just choke slam her to the core of the earth. I don't know. White Six need to add a member or something to even that shit out a little bit. I don't know. I could see Ricky Saints in the Rumble for sure. What else? Ethan Page versus Iguana, a perfect match. That was like, even the little, like, okay, Iguana botches one thing every match. He drops the Yeska. People say he drops the fucking Yeska once a match as well. This match, I think it was intentional, but they had a moment where he drops Lieska, and then I was about to call it out, like, oh fuck, he dropped her again. Ethan Page hits the DDT. They were good on every spot. One twisted grin or whatever the fuck it's called, and it was over. Boom, perfect. It didn't go too long. I think that they present Iguana the right way. He's just so over and people like him, but he doesn't need to win. Like, at no point does he need to push him and make him world champion. Like, it's like the Orange Cassidy thing. The way Tony Khan pushed him, people don't want that. He gets more over if he like loses those matches, but then he's like, him and Lola Vice are doing their shit and whatever. Like, they book him well in Mexico. He's played his position really well, and he's over. He's probably making a lot of money. He's cool as fuck, and I love Ethan Page in this. Like, I'm the champ of North America, so I'm gonna beat up these guys in Mexico, and I'm gonna beat. He's just playing it wonderfully. I think again, ego Ethan Page could get called up, and him and Chelsea Green, he could just join the Secret Hervis, dude. Like, they would fit all well together in like a little faction. But again, he's doing his thing in NXT, and he's perfect there. I don't think we're done with Ethan Page in NXT. I could see him winning the fucking NXT title again. So. Again, okay, him and Tony D, let's see what they got. That's their roster. They're running with it. NXT's been successful for them. So what else do we got? And then the women's deadline. I'm going to have to review that match one more time. But I saw like I bet when I rewatch, I'm going to go, okay, I pretty much got the gist of it all. But it was looking good from what I saw, you know, but I don't know if that was the shittiest match on the show. I got to be honest, because I was terribly distracted. But I saw Jordan Grace doing some good shit. Kendall Gray, everything I saw, she looked great. And they're obviously pushing the fuck out of her. I love the deadline match for that reason. Like, truly anyone could win, and it doesn't really bury anybody. The four other guys in that match were all elevated from such a great deadline match, and then Javon sneaking out the win. I think everybody kind of was elevated coming out of that. And in the women's match, I want to say the same. And certainly Kendall Gray was. Out of all those names, she gets the win. And think about it too, in NXT, you have a good problem when it comes to like Jordan Gray. I'm just like mixing up names now. Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace and like Kalani and them, they don't need titles to be important either. Like, we could get a Jordan Grace, Kalani Jordan feud, and it works. It doesn't need the belt. Blake Monroe doesn't need the belt. Like, someone like Kendall Gray, she's putting Evolve on her back. She gets that big win. They're clearly trying to call her up, and now they're the way NXT has gotten the rub from the main roster. You might see a wild Ethan Page backstage with a fucking North American title. Now we're going to see the Evolve sort of bleed over into NXT, and NXT be like the midway point, right? NXT is no longer, it is developmental, but it's no longer just developmental. It's like its own brand, which is its own third brand that can stand on its own. However, at the same time, folks, it's a brand that we do see some developmental. It's like the show Velocity, I guess, which was like, you got some main roster SmackDown guys, and it was primarily made up of guys on the, like, who are on SmackDown but aren't getting used on SmackDown all the time. But then we'll see the dark matches or get some of the under guys or whatever, or the developmental. Maybe Velocity and Heat aren't a good analogy for that, but either way, we're seeing Evolve now, and then the developmentals going on in AAA, TNA, in NXT as well, but like in Noah and shit like that. People going on excursion, traveling the world. So it's really, really cool to see. I think their NXT's hitting on all cylinders, and it's good to see coming into this the new year where this TNA AMC deal is about to take off as well. We're going to see what happens, and NXT deciding, look, we're going to stick with our core, like Tony D, Saints, Paige, Javon, Obafemi. These are our key fucking guys. We're going to keep rolling with these guys, man. They're doing us good ratings. We're still kicking Dynamite's ass right now. For the most part, we lose a couple weeks here or there, but I mean, I respect it. And I know people are going to melt down and they're going to be like, oh, Javon's still not going to the main rod. Like, we're going to get all of that, but just ignore that noise, because it's not that it's bad. It's not that what they're doing in NXT is bad. It's the complaint is they're not called up quick enough. Well, fuck all that. I'm done. I don't even care. You know? I don't even care about that anymore, honestly. So, yeah, round of applause. Thanks, guys, for being here tonight. We had about 250 watching at the peak between X and YouTube. I appreciate you all. YouTube.com/@ProWrestleClips, Patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes, guys, and support what I do. Patreon's a blast. And nobody can abuse the YouTube copyright system over there. Guys, Monday will be a very special Sicko Monday. Okay, it will be a very special Member Monday, insane Sicko segment. So get your memberships. I appreciate you all. Have a lovely Saturday night, all of you guys and gals. I'll see you in the Upside Down. Peace.
It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend. Yeah.
You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Effing melts. You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
let me have my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
He's got his
got to run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we are just secured the bag.
But like, you got to promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places in a month. You'll be live on my favorite movie. Time God. It's so great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. Sort of happened naturally.
The best guy's Tony Khan.
Keep themselves safe.